All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome into Locker Room Sports Talk. Glad you guys could come by and hang out with us. Show number 255. I'm the host here, Big Matt,
How you
and
doing,
co-hostess
buddy?
with the most, the Diamond Dean. What's going on over here today?
What's up? Getting
Well,
over the big loss, but I'm all right.
oh yeah, man. There, we're going to talk about Alabama and Auburn. We're going to talk about Tennessee, Arkansas, and Texas A&M.
Georgia A&M looking good,
They
man.
just they A&M put the whoop on them. Coach
Heck,
Elko.
they may be the best team in the conference.
Well, besides Texas, yeah, Texas A&M's got.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's probably a little bit of exaggeration, but they're obviously, for me and Matt had joked about how they always overrank them. I don't know. They might not have this year, which they've still got a loss.
I think Coach Elko's he's a good coach. They're gonna figure it out. So, hey guys, thanks for coming by and hanging out again. If you hadn't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go right down there on the bottom of your screen and hit that old blue thumbs up. I sure would really appreciate it. Okay, hang on a second here. All right. We're going to talk about some high school football first. We got the scores up here on the bottom of the screen. We are right. Where are they at? There they are. All right, Dean. Let's break it down. Let's get into some local talk here. And first of all, we'd like to thank one of our high and mighty sponsors. We do appreciate their time. Mobley Concrete Construction. Give Jerry a shout over there at 903-343-8581. Great people. Free estimates. He'll come out and look at your deal, see what you got going on, and give you an estimate on it.
Good feller.
Absolutely. Also, look at JR and April McKenzie for all your eye care needs. You can find them at CherokyeEyeClinic.net and on Facebook. You can call them at 927-4030. Call there today and get you an estimate on what you need for your glasses and set up an appointment and go over there and see JR, and he'll sure enough take care of you. I guess first off the bat, we'll do the game we were at first. We'll talk about Cherokee County if you want to.
Yeah, that sounds good. It was.
I think it was. Excuse me. I said before the game, I think they need to score every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be able to take care of business because Tony Halfcock, shout out WIS Radio Scoreboard Show.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling the black wall.
Yeah,
because they're black jerseys. Got black jerseys on, and they're just hard to score on, man. Caleb is just mashing people. Tay's getting on the end, and Tristan's going to make tackles. Cheston's making tackles over there. Keyshawn Thomas,
Tyson Woods.
Tyson's come on and played great.
Yeah,
and Thomas too. So you got guys, they're running all over the place, and they made it very hard for Anniston. But man, Anniston makes it hard. We said last week.
You can plan for Anniston.
That's it, man. Thursday we said
they break. They might take a broken play.
Yeah.
And do something with it. And that's something you can't really show in practice.
No. Okay. Let's run that play. Oh, you one where it's broke down and they just run around in circles and throw it to somebody that's open after 5 seconds. Yeah. Try to run that play.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't get them ready for that.
Well, Cherokee County was killing them at first, and they made the quarterback change.
Yeah.
And they were better with the other one. Now, I'm not talking bad about the first one, but the second one seemed to get more of a spark in them. And
he was just shifty, man. He was all over the place. Good gracious.
And they had some good plays, but Center held tight at the end. What were they down at the 5 or 4 one time?
Yeah, Cherokee County stood up and stopped them down there close from scoring it. Held the shutout. The Warriors, as you can see on the screen, win 14-0.
Cherokee County is a little flat. Coach Kelly admitted that. They were flat. He's probably not real happy with the performance.
No, because he knows, all the coaches know that they're better. It's like your kid bringing home an A on a report card, and the next week they bring home like a C, and you're like, okay, it's C+, but or B, you pass, but you've been showing me A's, and you bring home a B, like, come on now.
Of course, Tay, another big night, 145.
Yeah.
It puts him over 800. He's going to have 1,000 yards rushing, which isn't a shock. I saw him have 2 sacks. I don't know how many tackles. I'm guesstimating on Tristan's tackles, but the plays I paid attention, he made 7 or 8. I'm talking about, did I paid attention to see who made the tackle?
Yeah.
So you probably double that. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I thought Keyshawn Thomas played very good.
Man. There's a lot of guys that you got new, names popping up, on the intercom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. You're getting this team, they're gelling and more and more and more. And hey, you want to hit your high note in the state championship game.
Well, Cherokee County had a couple of chances to score. I think they missed a field goal. One time they were down there close, and I don't remember what happened, but they didn't score.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have easily been 24-6, or 24-0, something like that. Aniston probably should have scored one time.
Yeah.
But
they're good up front.
Yeah, Aniston's going to be – they're always going to have athletes.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got that factor where you can't plan for that. What happened? Oh, I don't know. They snapped it over the quarterback's head, and he went back and threw an 80-yard touchdown pass after he picked it up, because we quit cover. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, dropped a punt. It's 4th and 8, and he drops the punt on the ground, picks it up, and hits the guy wide open. Like Alabama game, Vanderbilt. He just catches it in stride. He nearly falls catching it, and he still catches it, scores. Sometimes just things don't fall your way. But everything did fall the way. Right in line for Cherokee County Warriors Friday night. Now they'll be preparing, Dean, to go off and play Hoax Bluff this coming up week, and we'll talk about their loss a little bit here in a second. They'll be playing the 5-1 Hoax Bluff down there, the Eagles.
I was going to mention Tristan had a touchdown and 39 yards rushing.
Yeah, if you want to see some highlights, go to our YouTube channel. I put up a little video of some.
And Griffin threw for 70.
Yeah.
So 65, 70.
Yeah, that's where there's a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, you don't have to pour it on him too much too quick.
Right.
Man, I think he's really got a lot of possibilities.
Yeah,
There's a lot
he threw 7 or 8 times. They didn't overdo it, but he completed some big ones.
Yeah, he threw one pick, and I think it was Ben. I think it was Mosley. I think he fell, and the boy picked it. And that's, that just happens. And he knows that. Coach Kelly tell him, hey, man, look, I know you go pick, but you got to move on. It's going to be not the end of the world. Don't panic, because he's got him for couple more years to play with him.
Yeah,
so.
I thought he looked all right.
Yep, he's going to do a good job. Defense stood up and did about what we kind of figured.
Shutout. You score 0, and you're doing good enough. The offense don't have to be great if the other team's not scoring.
Yeah.
And the offense was fine. I'm just saying they don't have to be.
No.
They could have gained 100 yards
and
still won the game.
Yeah. You kick a field goal, win 3-0.
Yeah.
Let's see, next on the screen down here, Sandrock Wildcats, 40-20 against Pisgah, number 1 in that region there. And, Coach Pruitt has got a good bunch.
Yes, they're special.
And it wasn't several years ago when we first started up that I remember going to, I think it was at Sandrock. They beat Pisgah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So he's been working, built him a good football team. And
yeah, I know they got a good group of athletes.
They do.
Through there.
Yeah, they got a good group. 40-20 was the final. And Aaron told me Alec throwed for, what did he tell me?
I got 111.
Okay, that's what I heard, 112. Yeah.
Yeah, Robinson 68. Cox was the leading receiver. Kane 168 yards, not 168, but Ashley 111. He's up to about 500 this year.
Yeah.
So
now you got a lot of 10th graders and a few 11th and just
they've not thrown it
a few seniors
like they did last
on
year.
This team at all. So I think that obviously you can learn something from these situations, and you don't lose, you learn. You ever said that?
Yeah.
Let's hit the peanut gallery. What's up?
And that's true. If you don't lose a lot,
JB, how's it going there?
You do lose. You learn a lot from losing.
Coach Short, we appreciate the kind words. Always good to see you. Sandrock, and for them next week, they're going to be probably the toughest game of their schedule. Oh, bye, Monster.
Oh, Idle.
Man, it's tough.
Yeah, well, Gills will beat them this week. Oh, wait, that was Idle. My bad.
Oh, yeah. 56. Idle don't score none, but
They don't
Man,
give it up.
they just beat you though.
Yeah, they're tough.
Tough. So shout out to them for figuring out some situations and learning on the fly, and coming back in there and digging around and making a game of it. And I must say that it was brought to my attention. Coach Pruitt at Pisgah, quote unquote, from Sandrock folks was top class guy. Couldn't ask for a better way for him to handle the game,
Right.
and to put his young guys in and kind of make it more interesting for our guys. Make it, we're
right.
he didn't have to do that.
No.
But he wants his young guys to play too, and he knows that to build a program, you need your young guys to play. And when you're up in a game big like that, let the young guys play that don't get to play a lot, and that builds confidence for them also.
Right. And plus it builds up depth for you. You may can stick them guys in later on.
Yeah, you find out who maybe, hey, I got a ninth grader. Hey, he may be ready to go in and play a quarter.
Yeah.
I'll give my line, one of my linemen a break or something. So I heard that, and I wanted, because we hear a lot of bad stuff about coaches. It's always negative. So we want to pass the positive. Coach Pruitt, classy guy, put his guys in there, didn't try to run it up and score 80 or nothing, or
No. And they're a good squad.
Yep.
I mean, they beat Randolph School 30-0. 4A.
I know we got to talk about Raglan too. I don't know what's going on. They got something in the water. They're just decided they're just going to win the rest of the games.
I got a good story on Raglan when we get to him.
Galesville, Fighting Alps, travel up to our good old buddy Taylor. Bum Pickens podcast. Look him up, Tyler Dalton.
He's a good one.
56-0. Knapp takes care of business, and adds on to the year for them. They're 3-3 now, right?
3-3. They've had a 50% turnaround. They didn't win a game last year.
Yeah.
And already 3-3 this year.
They got Spring Garden coming to town. That's going to be a tough task.
That's a tough task.
He knows that. They're going to practice, get ready this week. But tell us about Beatty and some of the other guys just ripping it up the mountain there.
Well, Beatty had a pretty good game, I guess you'd call that. 307 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's going to be up around 1,100 now.
Wow.
Also, Jack Centel finished with 75 yards, and they rushed for 448.
Dang. All right, now.
Didn't throw for much, but they moved to 3-3. And, of course, like we said, they'll play Spring Garden. Never any doubt here in this one. Gillis had a pretty good year. They've won 3, and the 3 they've lost, they battled.
Yeah, the Verbena game.
Yeah, and Verbena won again.
Yeah, they've hung in there with them most. They were ahead at half.
Yeah.
They just don't have a small team, if you dress in, 15 or 20 or so, it's hard.
Well, Beatty and Centel have definitely had Hunter Allman. I'm talking about the backs. No disrespect to the linemen. I don't know a lot of them, but those guys have had good years. Carson Ray.
Yeah.
And, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good win. And it builds some confidence coming into the week because you're going to be playing number one over there in the region, 7-0 Spring Garden.
Well, they look good.
And tell us a little bit about that game.
Well, 46-21, and it's John Welsh, 161 yards on 11 carries.
Yeah, and then
caught 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah, so he had 200 and something total yards.
200, an interception. I mean, it's just, of course, and, he's not it. Barber had 148 yards of offense.
Yeah.
Bates, 94 yards, 6 tackles.
Almost had 100 rushing. Had 8 tackles.
Yeah. Sadler had yards. I think it was Sadler.
No.
No, he's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he had I don't know if he – no, he didn't have any.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was somebody else. I got Sadler. I'm getting Sadler mixed up with somebody. Baker plays well, yes, but
he had a run for 27.
Yes, but John 3 catches. I mean, and we'll get into the stats later. But Barber's the leading passer in the county. John's the leading receiver yardage wise. Connor's rushed for 800 yards. John has rushed for 400. He's got 400 receiving. I mean, it's just
Hayes got 3. He had 35 rushing, and Noah had 40 rushing.
Now Noah's become Very good quarterback.
Gray Simpson again. I think Gray's getting like
he's making a lot of tackles.
He's getting 8 or 10 a game.
And see, I called him William at the Cedar Bluff game because that's what it had on the roster. But and of course you got the lineman John Welsh, Jacob Welsh, Ruark. Those guys are good. I mean,
and Garmin, Kyle's boy,
Hayes Garmin.
Yeah.
Not many linemen, not many starting linemen are also your place kicker.
No,
Wayne Brown.
Wayne did a good job. Hey, you're on here, Wayne. Shout out, place kicker, lineman.
Now Wayne was all state on both sides of the ball and kicked extra point. Now that don't happen much, but Hayes Garmin. But I don't know. Spring Garden still. I mean, they're averaging 450 yards a game. John's playing out of his mind. Connor's just good. Period.
He's out of his mind.
I mean, you go to a ball game and you think Connor didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. What do you have? 120 yards, 12 tackles.
What? Wow.
I mean, it's just easy.
I wish I had a game like that. A lot of kids wish they had a game like that.
It's just easy to him. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
He's played so much and been, you remember how good he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And a little injured last year, but he's back full speed this year.
Him and John are a great punch. And, you get Sadler back and all that stuff. You get right now in this part of the year, there's some banged up people. Everybody has everybody has some nicks and bruises and bangs and bump knees and stuff like that. Again, I'm trying to.
Appalachian's not a bad team, and they didn't play them bad. From what I heard, I talked to a coach that had watched the film, and he said they didn't play them bad, but Spring Garden's just good.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're clicking right now, and everything's working for them. And I'll put it to rest right now. I've already had somebody say, well, who they're playing. I said, well, it's not like they're winning 28-26.
Who they're playing? I don't even know what that means. I mean, they got to play that.
Well, I know what they're trying to say. And hey, look, but they're winning like if you think that other team that they're playing is not quite as good as them.
Or they're just drilling folks.
But they're winning by 20 or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that means it's what you're supposed to do.
Their closest game's been 19 points.
Yeah. So yeah,
and they're averaging 45.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. Now, if it's 1-2 point games and you're playing close with teams that are like, losing 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Every week in and week out, like, boy, they're just getting by, ain't they? When they get in the playoffs, they're gonna get drilled. Well, now they're winning like they should, like you would expect them to win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're 1A, and they're going to play 1A teams around here.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else for them to play. I mean, we can't put them in there in the region with Elba. They'd start having to travel on Wednesday.
Yeah, not yet.
Hey, you got Elba, Brantley, Georgiana, Milry. We're just going to stay down there in the motel room.
Be a good game.
Who was that Howard beat when he was there at the South team? Aliceville?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. That was a good-looking team,
games,
too.
Wasn't it?
Juju went 22 for 27, 347 yards, 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. Yeah, he's
special. But who's this guy's receivers?
Yeah,
these high school guys don't drop any balls? Or does he just put it that good on the money?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay.
He's just not a runner. That's his only setback.
I thought Parker played him well.
They really did. Yeah, I offered the kid that said Ohio State come in. He picked Juju.
Yes, he did. Early.
Auburn's trying to get him to flip over to them. He may. I think I heard his girlfriend goes to school at Auburn.
Huh.
They dropping bags, man, just to put a hat on. I mean, I'd go up there and put an Auburn hat on for $2,000-$3,000.
Oh, shoot, yeah. I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
Can we? Anybody?
Yeah, anybody, somebody. Last county game, I kept getting scores and kept hearing, and I didn't hear nothing for a while. Cedar Bluff's up 19-12. Thanks what I heard.
Reported that they won.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yes.
And I kept hearing they were up, but I'm talking to parents at the game, and then all of a sudden I text back, and it's like we lost 20-19.
It was reported on one outlet. Now I don't know if it's Max Prep, Score Stream, AL.com.
They had it backwards.
No, they had Cedar Bluff winning 19-12.
Oh yeah,
and they had it the F apparently. So people thought, well, that's it.
Final, yeah. Well, darn it, man! We got to get something together.
Pleasant Valley drives down, scores. Cedar Bluff's still ahead. They went for 2 and got it. That's the second time that year. This year that's happened. They've lost 2 games by 1 point. Teague, big night, 153 rushing. Rushing.
All right. Get it, Bryson.
According to the article I read.
Yeah.
Jenkins 57, Tracy 31. And Teague threw for 57. So they had 300 yards, over 300 yards. And that, that would have been an upset now. Pleasant Valley's played well this year at times.
Yeah.
And
I just thought that they had to, they got Sandrock in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Idle's got Sandrock this week. Coach Heath, be careful. And Cedar Bluff is at Pisgah.
But that would have been a big
Pisgah.
win. And, to think they had it.
Well, you need to get
because
that.
I was told by more than one, hey, it's over. They won. Okay.
See, I never could get. I got a score, and like time goes by, and I'm asking for score, and finally, 2019, we lost. It's like, God, man,
right at the end,
yeah.
too. I mean, I don't know how much time was left, but
it had to be close to under a minute or something.
Yeah, it was. So that's a tough loss for Coach Crane and them, but that's 2 this year, 2 1-point losses.
And they'll, I don't know how that region will play out for. We'll have to see another game this week to see how it all kind of shakes out for Sandrock and Cedar Bluff, and
Pleasant Valley, and
how that game. Well, that game is is a must win for Cedar Bluff to be 4.
I would think,
or
so.
if they already lost that one too many.
See, North Sand Mountain's in there too.
Yeah.
They've won a few.
We're gonna have to get in there and break that down.
They lost to Sandrock, but they beat Gaston. They beat Section. They beat Cedar Bluff, so they're ahead. I'd say North Sand Mountain's the 4th right now. Maybe Sandrock. Right now, it's got to be Sandrock because they beat them head to head.
Yeah.
Was Sandrock 3 wins, all region wins? Yes, it was North Sand, Gaston, Section, right? Is that right?
I think.
Okay. Well, Pisgah's obviously the leader. And
Yeah.
Pleasant Valley's right up in there.
Yeah.
So it may be Pleasant Valley, North Sand, Sandrock, Pisgah right now. I would think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Pisgah's definitely won.
Yeah. We're not sure.
We'll have to go back and look at the footage.
And then the other one, the 1A one, it's Spring Garden, Raglan probably.
Yeah, we're going to talk
Valley
about
Head.
that. Yeah, we got to look at that for sure.
And I don't know, Gillsville, Woodville. I mean, it may come down to that game for that 4th spot. I don't know. I know Appalachian's in there.
Yeah.
I know Coach Dampin told me they'll have to beat Woodville to have a shot.
Yeah, maybe they can get her done.
They'll have to at least beat Woodville. And, he's got 2 of his 3 toughest games in the last 3, which was Raglan, who's completely turned things around.
I know.
Just ridiculously.
I know.
Oh, and the story I heard on that was Nat went and watched them play. He said they were all discombobulated, out of sorts. Woodville's beating them pretty good. He said that the coach called a timeout, and from that moment on, they've been like the San Francisco 49ers. The rest of the game is just touchdown, sweep, touchdown. They stopping them on defense. They're 3-0 since then. I mean, it's just.
He pulled a Benefield on.
I don't know what he did.
He did adjusted something.
It sounded to me like, from what he told me, that maybe it was too complicated, and just like, all right, let's just make this. What is it? Keep it simple.
All right, guys.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Here's it is. Y'all listening? Look at me close, kids.
Mm-hmm.
We win the rest of these games out. Everybody gets a Toyota truck.
Yes.
Woo! You get a new hunting tree stand, too. Yeah.
All right, boys, y'all win this. We'll all go to Golden Corral.
We're getting 30-06 box ammo.
I don't know. It's weird.
That's good. I'm happy for them, man. I'm always.
And he said they had a big play. They stopped Woodville on a 4th down. Not long after that time. I said, just ever since then, it's just like a floodgate opened.
So that's kind of all the area stuff, and we'll do our player of the week, and then we'll go talk about games that they're we'll do some other games from this week also.
Yeah.
Then we'll look ahead a little bit. A few games right here coming. Still some big region game and that stuff too. So, we'll do our play of the week. We try to be fair and we try to spread it around. No player can get it twice. We try not to go to any school more than twice. Sometimes sometimes
works out that way.
Yeah, you just can't help it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just happens. And, but we try to be fair. We try to give everybody get at least one. And we know some of our teams is struggling. They're learning. They're in that curve, and we're trying to find an opportunity to get them a Player of the Week shirt. So I don't think he could have won it probably before.
Yeah.
But during that week, there was another one that was real close. And when I seen this young man and told him the other player that won it that week, what he did, the other guy, he was like, "Oh well, God." Yeah, I guess he's probably going to win it.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of kid he is.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. We love this kid.
Good
Know them all forever. So, Dean, who's our Big Diamond Player of the Week?
Well, for the second time, Alex Beatty. Not the second time this year. Second time in his life. Alex, 307 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's got over 1,100 yards this year.
Yep.
So he is the Big Diamond Player of the Week. He did win that once last year. I don't remember what week, but he did win it once last year. So he's won it twice. And then, I think John's won it twice.
Yeah.
Connor's won it twice. Connor may have won it 3 times.
But he's won it twice.
And Diamond, I'm sure he's won it twice.
Yeah, twice.
But
most of our guys now have won it twice. Usually like their junior, senior years.
Mhm.
Usually, because usually it's junior, senior players. Usually, just because they usually have the most yards. And
Right.
whatnot.
And hats off to him. That's good. And while we're doing this, Matt, just quickly, he leads the county.
Yeah. What's the county?
These are estimates. Now, Shannon Fagan will have the exact numbers on Thursday. Beatty, 1,100. Connor Bates, 850. Tay, 805. Keyshawn Woods, 555. Kane Robinson, 515. Centel, 440. Welsh, 485 on 30 carries. 35, my bad. Jenkins with over 300. Tracy with over 300. T with over 300. Sadler with over 300. All right, receiving, Cox has 22 catches. That leads the county, Gatlin Cox. But yardage-wise, it would be Welsh, 415.
415 receiving.
And Edmondson, 15 catches for 300. Frampton, 19 for 300. Passing, Barber leads the county with 700. Ashley, 510. Teague, 395. Tackles, Brown, 75. Diamond, 65. A lot of guys from center have over 50. Duncan, Woods, Chestnut, Harbor all have over 45. Timmy Dawson from Galesville, 47. Sack leaders, Tay Diamond with 10, and John Welsh, interceptions, 3. Unless there's more that we don't know about. I don't know who intercepted passes. I read where he intercepted one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and there's that pipe dream we talk about every once in a while. Imagine if we're in Georgia and they put all the kids at Gadsden State College and in the county, all the kids go, and Cherokee County is now all over there at the college at Gadsden State. That's the campus. And they're probably 6A.
Yeah, I would think.
So they'll be playing Southside and Gadsden City, Fort Payne, Oxford. And
we don't know how it would go. We'd like to think it would go good.
Imagine we do this time. I ain't going to get hung on it because I like thinking about it. I mean, imagine John and Tay being the same thing now.
Be pretty nice. Bookends.
Connor
and Jacob
and Tay.
And that Arbor. Well, it ain't no telling.
Have Jacob Welsh on one end and Caleb Harbor on the other.
Yeah. That'd be pretty good. I just rotate a bunch of guys in.
Oh, Lord, man, I think we'd have a pretty good 6A team.
Yeah, could.
You got quarterbacks all over the place. You have plenty of tailbacks, athletes, because some of those quarterbacks can be receivers. Some of the quarterbacks can be tailbacks.
And it'd work itself out. I mean, somebody would come out on top.
Yeah, but you'd have a 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
You could. I mean, it's good. You need a backup, and then you have receivers. You have guys that just have to play defense. They don't have to play any offense.
You wouldn't have to play any offense.
No, I mean, like John, he's leading. Just think if John is just a receiver.
Yeah.
He'd have 500 yards.
He's deadly.
I mean, wouldn't he?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I mean, I would think.
Heck, he's got that anyway.
I mean, so imagine him on one side, and then he's, Chestnut was on the other end, and Ben's on the inside playing a slot. And good gracious, man, good luck. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And all the linemen, talked about mentioned all these linemen, all the fat boys like me.
Got all these backs.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Have a good staff. Have all kind of coaches, defensive minded coaches, good play calling coaches, special teams.
All
coaches.
37 coaches in the county on the same staff. Well, I mean, you could have a big.
You could have some. You'd probably actually need at least 6 or 8 coaches.
Oh yeah, I'd say 8.
And then 2 or 3 up in the box.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're just talking out loud. We love our county, and those things
one school.
That'll happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, it's going to happen
at some point.
Yeah. So again, congratulations, Alex Beatty, Big Diamond Player of the Week. Getting over 1,000, 1,100. We're getting on up there in yards.
On up there. He may set well, no, never mind. Sorry, Alex. I fixed to say he may set the school record, but Johnny McDupree rushed for 2,900.
Yeah.
29?
What did Jackie and him have?
Jackie may set the record for most tackles in a season.
Yeah.
178. Pretty good.
No Stancil.
18 a game. Hey, I watched one of the films, and I was running around with Brian a lot then, and I went up there one night after they played, and he said, let's do these tackles here. And I think it's me and We Hunt, and maybe Drew Davis. We're doing them, and it's Jackie. And I'm check marking. I'm like, dude, he's got 23 tackles. He ended up with 28. I'm like, he's in on that.
You remember?
We got to give him that.
I was helping in the box up there, and I do music, and it was Halen Bailey. Remember that night? He had like 17, and then like, do I even need to say who just made this tackle?
Oh,
it's the same guy.
Yeah, Halen Bailey.
Halen he went on to play at Huntington. He's graduated and he's married. Got a kid now. And shout out to Halen and Gunnar Bailey. Love them boys, man.
Well,
don't get to see them all the time. I used to.
Do you know whose record he broke?
No.
Chris Talent.
Oh yeah.
He made 170 one year.
Yeah, Chris was
in 11 games.
He was hard to tackle.
Yeah, and he started at North Alabama.
You ought to try to play freaking basketball against him.
And Jackie played offense too.
And I try to block his shot or something, man. He'd fake and go up under him.
These guys, and that's what I don't realize. They were fine on offense, but then they were studs on defense.
Yeah.
Now. Good. Not afraid.
No, nobody was. They don't play like they used to. We got a bunch of sissies griping about a player that's mad because his team didn't win and he didn't play up to expectations, and we got people. It's not of my opinion. This Alabama game, Tom Malachi, and he got flagged for it and he kicked the ball. Is it the kind of attitude you want to have, Dean, towards the game? No, it's not.
I mean, I don't have mind him getting mad. He probably shouldn't have kicked the ball. I don't know.
I think it's fine.
But every time I see it, I just get tickled. I don't know.
That's not the Alabama way.
I mean,
I know what the coaches are saying, and Womack tried to call him off, on the side. But there's really no.
Hey, Malachi, you're going to have to sit out a series and do some stadiums or something. I wouldn't kick the kid off the team.
No, you can't.
If he did it about 3 plays, if he kept coming up.
I think there's a lot of that. He's mad about his defensive coach Womack's put Alabama in a bad situation because they've given up 940 yards past 2 games and given up about 70 points. And it's not just losing like to Georgia or Florida.
He's mad right now.
It's not, and he's not just mad about whatever. You lost to Vanderbilt. It's the worst loss in the history of the program ever. This is the worst ever.
Yeah.
This team in 160 tries, they've never beat a top AP5 team. And knowing Malachi, and I've kept up with him the whole time he's been there, he's mad at himself. He's really PO'd by it, and he knows he didn't play good enough. There's a standard that he sets as being the captain of the defense, and he's mad. And I'm glad that he cares enough, and that losing is not just something you just swallow at Alabama like a lot of the programs in the state. losing is just, well, we lost again. Well, we just lost again. I just don't. Should he have done it? Probably not. And his coach trying to call him off. But coach, why is he trying to? Like, I don't need to talk to you, man. What do you need to tell me right now? You set us up out here as a joke. We wasn't ready.
No, they wasn't. But I don't know. Like we said, they were either not ready, not prepared, or they just thought they had it and didn't play hard.
I think it was all.
It could have been a combination.
I think we run off the media out of practice this week. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
There'd be no, we're not doing media at practice and all that. But
you're saying it's a combination of all of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's just it's different at Bama than it is at other schools. Bama is expected to win, and when you're that's the culture there. And when your culture at your school is just to beat Bama, because Bama is the mark. Like at LSU, their mark is to try to win a national championship, recruit players. And in some places, it's not like that. But at Alabama, it is. And it was that way before Saban come. So it's not just a Saban thing. It's just a thing that they've set up when they won their probably first bowl game in the 1900s sometime.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about that. So congratulations again to Alex Beatty, Big Diamond Player of the Week. And let's talk about, Dean, some of these other 1 through 4A, and we'll mention a 5A or 2A here or there, but some scores throughout the state of Alabama that we can tool around here and kind of look at and give our 2 cents on it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Some I thought were interesting. Glenwood, 68, Randolph County, 40. This is just 1 through 4A. This is just some of mine. 68 to 40? They scored 68 points against Randolph County. Who is this bunch?
I can't wear these anymore. That's absolutely amazing.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's absolutely. We're not talking about they played like Piggy Wiggly Meat Department. No offense.
Yeah, because they got a good team.
I mean, that the butcher and shaker, the handball maker.
What if somebody got mad? My gosh, you said we wouldn't have a good team. About it. Hey, I had a guy do that one day when I was doing that community stuff. Were you trying to say Lawrence wouldn't be good? Sorry, I dropped something. You trying to say Lawrence wouldn't be good? I'm like, dude, you don't even have a team. What are you talking about? That's
an impressive win for Glenwood. Glenwood come over from private. They've been battling Lee Scott and Huntsville for a while, back and forth on those championship games, back and forth. But 68
to 40,
not against somebody. No. Randolph County,
who's very good,
always good.
Man, I thought this one was interesting. Westbrook, 48, Ohatchee, 27.
I know. Yeah. Coach Smith is
turning things around.
Well, we knew. I mean, didn't we kind of know?
Yeah, definitely.
And some people just didn't want to admit it, but dude, Coach Smith's gonna figure it out. I mean, it's what he does.
Geraldine, Collinsville, 41-27.
And I heard that it was a good game.
I thought it would be. I didn't like the there were some predictions that Geraldine would just drill them.
Well, it got away from them.
I never did buy that.
It got away from them later in the game, but I heard somebody that was there and said, that's a pretty good game.
So Geraldine just reloaded pretty much. I mean, I'm not saying they're as good as they were last year.
Coach Michael he's a good coach, man. The kids love him. The community's up there. They support him. At Pickens County Falls, I'll mention this one. They fall to Hubbardville. I don't know if Pickens is, after we saw them play down here last year and Gadsden lost the semi game.
They had a lot coming back off that.
I guess. I don't know. I'm just keep finding them losing each week. So I hate to hear that.
I thought they had a lot. They may not have. That was the semis, right?
Yeah.
Pleasant Grove hammered again, 41-7. They're going to be a favorite. One of the top teams in 4A. They're not the favorite, but they beat American Christian 41-7. Thomasville scored 50 again.
We're paying attention to them. We're watching y'all, Thomasville. What about Verbena? Like you said earlier, they beat Nagasala 28-12.
6-0.
Wadley 49-14 over Woodland.
Wadley's not having much trouble right now.
No, but here's the one I think you wanted to talk about was the Raglan over Valley Head 20-7. What happened there?
Raglan's just a different squad.
I need to get Aaron. Where are you at?
I mean,
what's going on?
What is going on with Raglan? And that story was not exaggerated.
Well, I mean, Valley Head's just rolling along there. I mean,
Yeah.
find another gear, and boy, they lost Spring
They
Garden.
lost Spring Garden, but there's no shame in that.
No, I mean they're the number one team over. I mean they're 7-0, and
Not taking nothing away from Valley Head, but it makes me wonder if they may have
somebody
an
hurt.
injury.
I don't know. Aaron
Wrangler's not supposed to beat them 20-7.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, that would be an upset.
Yeah.
Valley Head can move the football.
Yeah.
And Aaron, let us know on that
Yeah,
if there has been an injury. And Valley Head lost a lot on the line.
Yeah.
But, they still got 3 good backs in Johnson, Bain, and Blevins. But that Ragland I'm telling you.
It's just kind of surprising.
Valley Head beat Woodville 50-20.
Hats off to you guys. Going over the Purple Devils, working hard. I hated to go over there when we go up there and play. Something about that devil face on the side that we had to go and remember. I'm sure
We
y'all
couldn't find the place.
I'm sure y'all have changed in the same building we did.
That house over there.
It was like an old block something. You had to go in the side.
Yeah, it seemed like something like a house. It wasn't literally a house.
And I remember it had somebody had a purple devil, or maybe that was on the field, and it used to just freak me out.
I didn't like
because it was the man face. It was like a magician, and he had the little horns, and he had the collar turned up.
Kind of devilish.
His eyebrows was pointing. I was like, ooh. I'm like, I don't know. It used to freak me out, man.
I don't have nothing against Raylan, but I did not like playing over there.
No. Field was hard as brick.
And we won, I think. I think it was Bullen's first year. We upset them 7-0. Carpenter was their defense coordinator. I don't know if it was an upset. Probably an even match.
What about Lane and Barry, 28-26? What about that?
Pretty interesting. Barry.
Well, Barry's been winning. I mean, that's not
winning.
I think that's a big win for Lynn.
Hanley rolling right along, Matt, 38-21.
Not surprising.
They're one of the better teams.
Brantley over Georgiana, 16-12.
Georgiana. Brantley bouncing back. Elba won big again, didn't they?
Yes, 46-6 over Red Label. They were supposed to win by like 20 or 30.
Coosa Christian won again. 5 beat Sylvania 49-17. How good is Coosa? My gosh. So 5 back on track.
Let's see. They allowed 2 first downs, had 30 rushes for 2 yards.
30 rushes for 2 yards.
They were 4 for 8 on passing with 18, 20 total yards, 2 for 12 on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth. 2 turnovers caused, which they had 2 touchdowns on, a sack, no points allowed. 5 for 5 on the conversions.
5 for 5 on conversions.
There you go. Okay. Man,
so let's see. Coosa Christians gave up 88 rushing yards this year. What, a game? No, this year.
Wow.
80. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it ain't much.
Well, I mean, they had like 6 runs for 36 yards against 5. So they're ripping and snorting like a wild bull in a China shop right now. Tuscaloosa Academy 35-21 over Vincent. I don't think that was a big surprise.
No.
JB from Reeltown, they beat Lynette 40-0.
Surprised? Yeah,
sort
a
of.
little bit.
I
just thought Lynette would be better.
28-7 kind of game.
But I mean, it's okay for Lynette to have a down year. Remember, I remember when it snowed here a few years ago, we watched him win it.
Yeah.
You remember when we didn't get to go and we had to stay?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody got wind. It was at Auburn, and it just came it was at Tuscaloosa, actually. And, man, it just came a downpour. And they won it. They beat
any other 2As you got?
Reeltown, I think. I didn't have any other 2As. I did have that T.R. Miller one again, 48-7. I didn't see any other 2A that just jumped out at me.
Let's see. Highland Home 61-0 over Isabella.
I did see that. And Isabella's not a bad team.
No,
either.
Wow. Good gracious. Highland Home. What are they doing?
Highland Home. Now, you thinking a Highland Home Coosa matchup?
It sure seems to be rolling out. I don't know. I mean, it's a little early. Goshen 62-0 over Barber County. Gaston beat Section 42-28.
I did see where Gaston went. And Goshen now,
there's somebody to pay attention to.
Somebody had told me that Barber had lost an ungodly amount of games in a row. And I don't know. I saw where Columbia has lost, 57 in a row or 87?
Yes. Let's see. Montgomery Academy 28-27 over Trinity. That's a good win for them. Southside of Selma wins big over Hale County. JB Pennington 42-14 on sacks. Mars Hill over Rogers 42-6. Now Rogers was that team that was up here in that 4A North last year. I remember running through them. They had a quarterback that had a crazy name.
Yeah.
I remember us talking about him a lot. Coach Higgins, they are people. I mean, I don't. Who else is talking about Mars Hill? We mention them every Sunday, and I keep saying you better pay attention.
Surely somebody else.
Somebody's got to be paying attention. Mars Hill, Coach Higgins, sure they're not just floating around in 3A like they're not, playing nobody. 549-17 over Sylvania.
Wow. What about the big game? I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to Sexton.
Well, wait a minute. Piedmont.
Oh yes, Piedmont 61-14 over
Locust Fork. Shout out to Embry. He broke his leg and he's going to be out for quite some time. Just let people know that we're thinking about him. I don't. You know me. I mean, Dean too. We just don't like to see kids.
No, I don't want to see no kid get hurt.
No, from nowhere or nobody. Bayside Academy 28-20. Been a close game with Hillcrest Evergreen.
Hillcrest is very good. We had highlighted that game that we thought it would be good.
Dadeville finally beat Lee Scott Academy.
They did beat Lee Scott 16-13.
13-10.
Oh, I thought it was 16-13.
Oh.
No, I'm thinking about Brantley and Elba won 46-6. I wonder how many yards beat Red Level.
Yeah.
I wonder how many yards our boy had. He had 1958 going in.
Yeah, he's leading the nation right now.
Leading the nation.
North Jackson beat Madison Academy at 18-12. What is that, a baseball game?
North Jackson's been a little better. Oh, and speaking of baseball, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Braves are out.
The Mets are in it still.
I can't believe that.
Mets, I don't even know who's in it. Indians or Guardians, excuse me.
Dora takes care of Haleyville, 42-28. Brooks, they're still paddling along there, 40-0 over Danville. Bibb County 33-21 over West Blockton. And here's the one we're going to bring about. 28-27.
Oh gosh.
Alexandria Hopes Bluff. Coach Ginn, Nips, Coach Rob. The two teams have played. We talked about it, and they're meeting up. I think Alexandria, didn't they on the record, the back and forth?
Yes.
I think there was a little bit
ahead. And Alexandria's a powerhouse.
And the
80s.
Yeah, they were, and his dad coached. Okay. They're Coach Ginn. We said this for weeks. Mm-hmm. He's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's going to figure it out. And they got a kicker and kick it like 70 yards, what Mob said. He's got just.
And they won on the last play.
We had a guy there, we was talking to a guy at the center game that was talking to a guy. He was at the game. Mm-hmm. And score, onside kick, get the ball, go down. Minute 2 goes by, 2, 3, 4 minutes go by. He said they just scored. They just went for 2. They won the game. Mm-hmm. 1 second on the clock or something.
1 second. Oh, gosh. I don't have nothing against Alexandria, but obviously we have a friend that coaches at Oaks Bluff. That's terrible. As time expired, they kicked the extra pointer.
Now, yeah, well, they control their own destiny anyway.
Right.
It's not like the season's over for Oaks Bluff.
They
get to host 2-time North 4A champ.
Yeah.
2 state championship appearances. Turkey County is going to Oaks Bluff. So
you got to get past that loss. You got to move on.
Quick. You can't hang around on that.
No, not for a day.
No, you got to get over
Okay, Saturday you can hurt over it, and then you got to move on. They do. They still got Randolph County left. But Oaks Bluff's obviously a very good team. Yeah. But obviously Alexandria has improved a lot.
Well, you're at home, and if you can keep it close, like a lot of teams do, we send a lot of college games. We'll go through 3 or 4 of them in a minute.
You can keep it close.
All these home teams, man, A&M, they just keep playing and keep playing, and next thing you know, and then Arkansas, they just keep playing. It's 3-0 at halftime. They keep playing, and you win the game.
Yeah. I did read up on it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Never mind.
Boaz 35-14 over Sardis. Arab 42-7 on Douglas.
Beat Douglas 42-7. Gunnersville won again.
Saraland wins. Southside Gadsden 27-6 over May Jemison.
That kind of shocked me.
It's a good game for them. Parker 56-0 over Jackson Olin.
Golly, Parker's good.
Trying to
And
look
they
for
can actually play with Carrollton.
some closer. Clay Chalkville 21-14 over Mountain Brook. I don't care what you say. If you beat Mountain Brook,
They
have
beat
you ever
Mountain
seen
Brook? Thompson won 15-10.
Yes. If you ain't seen them play, please do yourself a favor. Mountain Brook, their offense and how they move and shift constantly, it's just
So
I don't know how you beat them.
Clay Chalkville's beat Thompson and Mountain Brook back to back. Wow.
I guess that'd be pretty good.
And I heard something that shocked me, and I don't want to get – somebody told me there was nobody there from Shades Valley at the center game.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that too. There wasn't a lot of people there. I don't know. Maybe they're like third in that region, though. I mean, third or fourth. They're in the region with Oxford.
It was a horrible crowd.
Well,
Not horrible as in the act. They just wasn't there.
Well, it rained, too. That may have hurt
Well,
some
it did
of
rain. Yeah.
And that's a big area. There's a lot of the football teams kind of within, driving distance there, too. Auburn wins, not the university, but the high school, 38-33 over Central Phoenix. Big game. That game talked to Andrew Etheridge.
Probably the game of the biggest game in the state.
Powerhouse Sports. Andrew, it was close all night.
Yeah.
I got a score from him a time or two. He was
I don't doubt that.
down there in that area. Daphne 34-13 takes care of Davidson. Hoover over Oak Mountain 28-10. And of course, you said Thompson beat Hewitt Trussville 15-10. The best Davy Hills 49-14 over Prattville. I do remember Prattville.
Yeah, Prattville was a power. Prattville was ranked in the nation here a few years ago.
Talladega, shout out to them. They beat Munford 28-14. That's 2 in a row. They lost like years. They ain't won a game in years.
Yes.
Shout out to the coach down there. I'm gonna mess his, was he?
Gosh, I don't even have a clue.
Was it Jackson? I'm gonna get it wrong. Coach Short did an interview with him after the game, and he's just really loving on his boys, and he's proud of them. And he, they asked him after the game, how did we win? And he said, "Coach just told us to keep believing."
Mm.
I love those stories. The young men looking up to their coach, and he's changing boys' lives. He's helping them to be positive, hang in there no matter what. It's hard, man. Munford's not no crap team.
No,
are you kidding
no.
me? The kids that's come out of Munford.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good for
Sylvester
them.
Smith come out of there, didn't he?
Yeah. And say Donahoe gets another win. They beat Fayetteville.
33-14.
Yeah. Shades Valley over Huffman, 34-18. So it's good for Shades Valley to give them another win. Mary Montgomery, that's the one I've been watching. They beat Alma Bryant 31-6. And that'll about do it for all of them. And what else, Dean?
That's pretty much it on high school. Obviously, where you already went over that. Spring Garden at Galesville.
Mm-hmm.
Cedar Bluff goes to Pisgah.
Mm-hmm.
Cherokee County, Oaks Bluff. Sand Rock's off. That's it.
Coach Heath, be careful. It's dangerous. Why does it keep doing that?
I don't know. I don't say who's winning in the pro. Oh, no, the Falcons won the other night.
It keeps just going off.
Somebody, this ought to be pretty good. Oh, I got an odd one feud.
Okay.
I'll read this to you.
All right. We appreciate you guys there. And we'll go over here and part our hair right down the middle. We'll come right back and we'll talk about the new number one in the nation right now.
I got something interesting to tell you here in a second, too. But I can't tell you on there.
The brand new number one in the nation. Vanderbilt Commodores.
I thought you was going to say Alabama. Just stayed at 1.
Nope.
Remember what you sent me today, that ESPN stuff?
Hang on, guys. We'll be right back. Okie dokie. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for stopping by here. Locker Room Sports Talk, show number 255.
I was going to ask you what number it was.
255, Dean. Hostess with the most, Big Matt, the co-hostess over here next to me. Show 255 of them is Diamond Dean.
I don't think I've done 255. I missed two. I mean, out of all that, I think we've not. I was gone 1 week and had COVID.
He probably missed 5 or 6 or something, maybe.
Maybe. We're 98%. In 1 week, you were sick and we didn't do it. Remember?
Yeah,
we just didn't come on.
Crap. Oof.
But we didn't do a show. Period.
I'm trying to say how many videos. I got 710 videos. 538.
710.
710.
255 shows. We have passed Andy Griffith.
110. What?
Terrible on film.
Sound like country.
I know. I mean, to myself, nobody sounds like.
I know.
It's just weird to hear.
And when you hear yourself play, I remember recording ourselves on the phone. There's a number.
That was awful.
A phone number you could call in.
Yeah.
And it would record you and we'd play it back. And I was like, holy crap, where am I from?
Who is
like
that?
South Georgia. Hi, what y'all doing?
Well, see, you hear yourself, and I love TJ Hill. Let me say that up front. But every time I go around TJ Hill, he'd be like, well, hey, how you doing there, Todd? What's up, Todd? He was making fun of me.
Oh, you don't think you sound like that,
and
but to him you do.
And I'm sitting here, I'm going,
do I sound like that?
Why do you do that? I don't sound like that. And you know what? You hear yourself talking, and guess what? You do sound like
that. I sound very country. And I don't hear. I try to slow down and pronounce my words.
Yeah.
And talk with my chest and not my nose because I have terrible sinuses. They are constantly. If you've been watching the show for like forever, my sinuses are bad. I'm constantly blowing my nose and stuff. And it's since I had COVID.
Yeah.
It's messed my sinuses up. They've just been permanently. They're jacked. Now.
But yeah, I mean, TJ, I mean, for years, I was like, why would he do that? Why do you do that? I don't sound like that. And I hate to tell you, Todd.
Yeah, you do.
But to yourself, you don't.
No, I know. Let's see here. Let's talk about what about the old Woo Pig Suey thing. I'm excited for we're Coach Pittman fans.
I like him. I think he's a classy, humble guy.
You know what he said at halftime? He just said, Coach, what are you thinking right now? And he was up, I think it was 3-0 at halftime. Or was it? Yes, 3-0.
3-0 at halftime.
And he said, I'd rather be us than them right now. That's a great answer. I love it. He's just the kind of guy you like. You know, you take him and Mac Brown, not Nick Saban. Nick's stiff. He's not a funny guy.
No, he's fun now.
Yeah, I don't know. Still, I don't know how long me and him can hang out. He's just uptight.
Yeah.
But I could hang out with Sam Pittman and Mac Brown. We could have a cold drink and throw horseshoes and watch a football game on in the den and cook some steaks and I could just listen to them talk about football stories all night.
Yeah, Nick probably.
He's a little tight, I think.
But that's just
grouchy.
him.
That's just his personality. He expects perfection from everything.
He's a straight up football coach.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the best ever.
But he does seem like he's got more depth to him, I think, since I think a lot of people saw him and say, hey, that's all he could probably talk about. And I've heard of coaches like that. I don't think so neither.
Tennessee, Arkansas, 19-14. They pull it out at the end.
Arkansas
what was something what jumped off the page at me? 430 for yards for Arkansas.
430 and 330 for Tennessee. Before the last drive, 270.
Well, they had 300
Nico
yards.
had 100 yards passing, Matt, before the last drive. 100.
Green had 300 yards passing nearly.
I know. And they kept saying it was just the way Arkansas set up their coverages and stuff. They wasn't allowing the deep ball. And I don't know if they were running a nickel, a dime. I don't know the details or dynamics of it. But they were playing the lanes and wasn't allowing them to go up the seam or down the sideline. They defended that. Catch whatever you want in front, but you're not beating us deep. And they didn't. Squirrel caught 7 passes for 38 yards.
I think also on the reverse of that.
And Green is just tough, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, he went out, and that's what I was going to say. I think
He did.
on the other side of that, when the other cat come in, what was his name? I'll tell you right here.
You know, Herbstreit pretty much made the comment that Arkansas was
Singleton.
dead in the water without Green.
Yeah, he come in and went 2 for 331,
and Tennessee let them score it to him.
He rushed about 10 yards, and he had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he did. They let him score, but they had to get the ball back.
I think with this game, he helped make a difference. Even though the quarterback went out, he stepped up. But through the game,
he did fine when he came in.
Yeah, but Tennessee's defense is all that we've heard about. How great they are. How great they are.
I've heard it too.
I like how Arkansas's O-line picked it up, and I on some plays that I went back and watched again. Tennessee tried to change up their defense some. They tried to run a little twist here or there, or move the linebackers down. You know,
they've not been giving up anything
to try to get some kind of rush on the quarterback. Tennessee tried to move stuff around. I noticed it. Arkansas just seemed to have an answer, Dean.
436 yards to 336, and like I said, Tennessee had 60 of those yards on that last drive. Nico threw for 110 yards before the last drive. Now Sampson was fantastic.
Yeah,
he had 140. Fantastic.
Two touchdowns.
He may be the best running back in the SEC right now.
Well, Nico graded out at a 40.
Yeah, not good. 156 yards.
You got to do better than that.
And they were on him a little bit. Not bad, but he didn't even throw it in the end zone on the last play.
What was he doing right there?
I don't think he was aware of how much time was there.
He thought he was going to run first down and stop the clock.
That's exactly what he thought. He didn't get the first down, and he didn't stop the clock. It wouldn't have mattered if he had stopped the clock. It was fourth down. And
big growing moment for Nico.
It was. I mean, you know, he's not played a lot. I know we want to groom him.
Yeah.
The greatest ever. A lot of us. I do the same thing.
I don't do that.
And
I like him. We covered him last summer.
I think he's smooth as silk.
He's a good talent. He'll be okay, guys.
He will. But now Sampson's showing out. And this Armstrong kid for 132 yards on 9 receptions for Arkansas. I will say this. Arkansas has played better football than I predicted.
Well, he's 6'4", 202 pounds. He's from Dallas, Texas. So guess where he probably played? Somewhere around that, you know.
Well, and we'll get into that later, but the receiver that's so good for Vanderbilt, guess where he's from? Texas.
You see how many he's got already on the year?
Yeah. 38 catches, 28.
Yeah, 552.
Good gosh. So he's almost like that Traylon Burks that played there a few years ago.
Yeah.
You remember that was so good?
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, hats off to them. And Tennessee just, I don't know. They were up 14-3. Did they go on cruise control? No, not really. Green's a good quarterback.
Who was you saying?
Green.
Oh, Green.
He's for Arkansas. He's good. I mean, he had 266 yards passing. What did he have against Oklahoma State that day? 500.
I don't see where the Singleton guy's from. Kennesaw, Georgia.
Interesting.
How'd they let him get away over there? I mean, not for Georgia, but like Georgia State or
Georgia Tech somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like he would have. I mean, he's 6'1", 225. I think he could have got it.
High school?
I don't know. They don't say.
There's probably 10 million high schools.
How many high schools around Kennesaw?
Oh God,
20.
Sprayberry, Harrison, North. Gosh, it's unreal.
Okay.
North Cobb Christian.
Arkansas getting it done, guys. I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed. It was a little late for me to stay up to watch that game, really, but
that's a big win. Huge
win to help Coach Pittman kind of keep his eyes on the prize and keep trucking right along. We ain't got to get crazy deep into it, but Miami travels to California.
Wow.
And hangs out, and they're ahead for a little while, and I flip it over there, and I go back, and they're way behind. I'm like, what in the heck is going on over here?
I turned it off. I didn't finish it.
What is going on here? And then I get up this morning and check it. It's 39-38.
Come back and what?
Okay, let me say this right now.
Cam Ward.
Let me mark this, write it right now. Dean,
I'm listening.
October the 5th, 24. I'm not right about everything that I predict. We're not,
No,
but we're pretty good.
we're not bad.
Better than a lot of people I see that get paid to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not joking. I'll say this now. I've watched them play Miami. I've watched them play 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And went back and highlight games and watched how they play, how the kids kind of act. And after that game, I went back and watched today highlight how they played back.
Mm-hmm.
This is a championship team.
Miami.
Yep.
Oh, no, never mind. That was a dumb question. No, California. Yeah. I mean, they come back and won that. They were done. It was 38-18, man.
Teams that I'm just maybe I'm wrong. But when you find teams that figure it out and figure out how to win, like Bama used to, like they just get down like they did against Georgia, like, well, we're way up, and then they go way ahead, and you're like, well, we're just going to find a way, and we're going to hit a play, and I'm just going to score and win.
2 weeks in a row, Miami.
I know.
2 weeks in a row.
But surviving is –
that's what
that's it.
Every team that wins it, except for when Alabama went 12-0, Mac Jones and COVID year, and Nebraska 95, every team that's ever won it has had a scare.
Yeah. I don't know any of that. Well, let me think.
Those were the only 2.
It's probably about all of them, if you really want to be honest.
Or lost, or at least had a scare.
Either lost a game or had a scare.
Even or 2001 Miami, who is considered like the second greatest team ever.
I think their best team ever.
Had a scare. Virginia Tech nearly beat them.
Yeah.
And here Miami survived.
Did they go to overtime?
I don't know, but they nearly got beat. I was under the impression that team nobody even played them close, and that was not true. Now, 95 Nebraska, nobody played them close.
Yeah, they just dominated everybody. So I want to say that up front.
20 Alabama, Florida played them close.
Cam Ward, 437. They're figuring out how to win. Cristobal is from that old Saban tree that come from Belichick, that come from, what's his name out west? They mentioned the other day.
Bill Walsh.
No.
Was it Walsh?
He said it the other day. I'll forget.
Can't remember.
He was at Washington one time, years and years and years,
I know
years
you're
ago, way back in the day.
And I can't think of his name.
Daly? No.
I'll find it right now.
I'm just saying, y'all can mark it down and clip it and go back and make fun of me in November and say, Matt, Miami went on a skid, wound up losing 3 in a row.
I don't think so. They're finding ways to win.
Well, let's just look at their schedule.
This guy was the head coach at Washington, man.
Yeah, at one time.
It's got to be. And he was famous, right?
Yes. Miami's going to be at Louisville. Okay.
Husky.
Then they're going to play Florida State, Duke, at Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and then Syracuse. Syracuse, we can mention that too. They had a big win, beat UNLV.
That was a good game.
Wow.
I mean, I know y'all are going.
Yeah, but it's just a good game. I mean, it's.
And I did too, but McCord's tough.
I'll watch a good game. I don't care who's playing. I'll break down and watch Eastern Carolina.
Don James.
Yes.
Don
James, all the way down to Cristobal, has to do that. Fingerprint of Don James is involved with this Miami Hurricanes team, whether you like it or not. The fingerprint is still somewhat there. I know Schnellenberger, and guess whose thumbprint was on Schnellenberger? Would anybody like to take a guess? Ding, ding, ding. Bear Bryant. Schnellenberger was Bears' defensive coach. Mm-hmm. So the imprints are all over this team of hanging on and learning how to win. I just like their chances. Dean, they play at Louisville. Do you like it? I'll take Miami. Florida State, give me Miami. Duke, give me Miami. At Georgia Tech. They're surprising.
Can they drop one? Miami can drop one. If anybody's going to drop them, it'd be Tech.
Yeah, okay.
Duke's playing good too.
I think if they drop one, it'll be at Tech. But I think they can beat Wake and Syracuse. I don't think the matchup.
Where's the Syracuse game?
At Syracuse, and it's going to be
in the Carrier Dome.
Yeah, it's going to be late November. There'll probably be snow on the roof and slick ice out on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing.
Right. I don't know.
I think how they match up is not. I think it fits.
Now, Syracuse much improved.
I think it fits Miami. Does that make sense? Football's
So
about
what you're
matchups.
saying is you're expecting the Miami to go a long way.
It looks like if they dump a Georgia Tech and a Syracuse,
You'll be shocked.
yeah, who are they going to play for ACC? I guess they'll play Clemson.
Who's absolutely playing out of their mind.
Yeah.
Since their first game.
Well, they beat Florida State 29-13.
Well, they were before that one.
Ole Miss.
But, they didn't have no trouble with Florida State.
A little bit of SEC play. I'll mention this. Jackson Dart throws about 285. They beat South Carolina surprisingly 27-3.
Yeah,
I was terribly surprised. I wanted to get into that game and turn over there, and it was like 14-0 quick.
Yes.
I was like, I didn't watch it.
And I know that's not the most surprising, and no, Vanderbilt in Alabama is obviously surprising, but the A&M game surprised me. My gosh, how good is A&M?
What about USC getting dumped 24-17 over to rowing the boat?
Let me tell you something. Rowing the boat may have the best team he's had. What about Washington beating Michigan? That's a shocker. But the Minnesota beating USC is a huge shock to
27-17 in rematch. The Huskies beat the Michigan Wolverines. Will Rogers over 270 yards.
Wow. Any others? SMU upset Louisville.
Yep.
Ohio State had no trouble, but Jeff Anderson.
Virginia beat Boston College.
Ohio State got a quality win.
Well, they got Oregon this week.
They did get a quality win. As far as wins goes, that I always considered a quality win.
Tulane put 71 on UAB.
Oh, my gosh. Tulane's good.
Virginia Tech smoked Stanford.
Iowa State won 43-21.
Nebraska barely hangs on to beat Rutgers 14-7.
That kind of shocked me.
And Oklahoma State, they're done. They lost West Virginia 38-14. They're done.
They're done.
They're done.
I
don't hear nothing else about Oklahoma State. They're off. We got to move on from them.
Can I ask a question about Oklahoma State, though? Is he on the hot seat?
Yes.
He's been their coach a long time. He may be the longest tenured, one of the longest tenured coaches.
They were favored to win the Big 12. Now
they had 20 starters back.
Probably Kansas State's favored to win it now.
I would think. Big game this week, Kansas State and Colorado.
Louisiana Monroe, that broke Nick Saban's heart, wins over James Madison 21-19. That's a big win.
That is a huge win.
Let me tell y'all.
James Madison's good.
If y'all don't watch college, if you don't just watch college football, James Madison's good.
Yes. They beat North Carolina 70-50.
And for Louisiana Monroe, in 2007, they beat Nick Saban 21-14. Worst loss of his life.
Yes. What about Pitt? Undefeated.
They are undefeated.
Beat North Carolina.
That game was surprising.
And Pitt is ranked now, by the way.
Where's the SMU? Yeah, they won. Beat Louisville. I watched some of that game. That guy's good, man. That Taylor Shrew.
Yes, he is.
329 yards. I like him. Indiana, dude, they're just figuring out a way.
Staying undefeated.
What is going on?
I think it's coming to a halt, but it may not yet. Who they got next?
Nebraska.
They may lose that one. Who about after that?
They got Nebraska at home, then Washington at home, at Michigan State, Michigan at home, at Ohio State, then Purdue.
I think they lose 3 of those 5.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, but look, man, 9-3.
Wow, come on with it.
I don't ever remember. This is the best team I remember Indiana having.
Yeah. Let's see here. And we got to talk about this. Where did A&M go?
Wow. 41-10.
Where did the game go? What do you think happened?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I think Texas A&M is very good. I was wrong.
Well, Coach,
and I don't think Missouri's
he's done a good job.
Is as good. I think losing Schrader and some of their defensive players and some of their linemen hurt. I know they still got Burden. I know they still got Cook, but they lost a lot. And probably a little overranked. I don't think Missouri's a bad team, but I don't think that Missouri's anything like they were last year. And I think A&M's very good. Being an Alabama fan, I'm dreading that game. I wasn't. They do play them this year, do they not? Doesn't Alabama play A&M? Let me look.
I have to back up. Let's see.
I'm worried about it if they do. They may not.
Seems like they usually do.
They always do. And, they've upset them twice. They've upset Alabama twice.
Now they play Auburn in Texas. Auburn, Texas, LSU, South Carolina, Mississippi State.
Okay, good. So they do not play. Good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because after yesterday, Alabama.
They can, like anybody can beat them now, you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think they're going to. I'll be honest with you. I'll be surprised if they lose another regular season game.
They better get their minds made up.
But, we did predict them to lose a game, but I did not think it would be to.
I thought you had them picked to lose, too. I thought
Vanderbilt.
I had them picked to lose to Tennessee and LSU. Yeah. But both traveling games.
Not Vandy.
What about Wegman? No picks, but he threw no touchdowns either. But he graded a 94. I look at these numbers. Listen, anything.
If they graded 94, they're good.
If anybody grades over a 64 or 5 in terms of quarterbacks that I've watched on podcast stuff, and they're talk about this stuff. I'm not a quarterback. These are NFL people I was listening talk. And they say if you grade over 64 and a half, you're a good quarterback.
Wow.
This guy grades at 94.
Well, they talked about him before the year started. He's great. And Notre Dame held him to nothing. And that's a quality win for Notre Dame now. I know Notre Dame's got a non-quality loss.
That's their leading receiver for the game, Levon Moss.
Oh, he's a stud.
From Walker, Louisiana.
600 yards rushing.
Yeah, catching, yeah.
From Louisiana.
Imagine that.
Yeah, for real. A&M looks fantastic.
Yeah, running the ball. He run the ball.
What's
12 carries, 3 touchdowns? I thought he just had 1. He got 3.
A&M's record? 5-1.
Yes, 3-0 in conference.
5-1, and they're only lost to Notre Dame.
They're undefeated in the conference. And I told you they played. They got like South Carolina. They got some games, but Mississippi State, Ole Miss.
They could beat Ole Miss.
Who's the leading receiver for the day? Terry Bussey. Guy from Texas. Why is everybody from Texas?
Where's everybody from? Texas.
Can we please get somebody else? Leading tackler Dalton Brooks. Guess where he's from?
Texas.
Yep, Shriner, Texas. Well, I mean, it is Texas.
The rest of their schedule.
Who, A&M?
Yeah, look at the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, they got Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and it's not a.
What do they do
South Carolina,
at worst?
Next
9-3.
They got at Mississippi State win.
Mm-hmm.
They host. That is we don't know what time they'll host LSU.
That could be a loss. At
South Carolina, New Mexico State. No, that quarterback's at Vanderbilt now, so New Mexico State's not beating them. Then they got at Auburn.
I think they go 9-3.
Yeah.
I mean, I can change. I didn't think they win but 6 or 7. I think they go 9-3.
The only one they could slip up here going to Auburn. They're not really good, but how teams match up.
Beat you.
Yeah. Well, it's just about matchups. Football's matching up, man. It's like boxing. Again, I'm on Alabama and Vanderbilt don't match up.
No.
Not how they play. Now, Alabama's remainder schedule, like LSU's and South Carolina, somewhat more, but they don't run an option. They just have a sneaky quarterback and Jones. And Mississippi State or whatever, they have quarterbacks. So Alabama matches up better with those teams. Let's see here.
It is about matchups, and people need to understand that.
It's just about how teams. It just is. That's football. Oregon takes care of business, 31-10 over Michigan State. Not a surprise. JSU 63-24 over Kennesaw State. I love it.
Playing that tough schedule's paid off.
Well, Huff had 193.
It has paid off. I mean, they played Coastal. They played.
And he also led the team in rushing, Dane, with 176. How about that?
Wow. 193 passing. 176 rushing.
Tyler Huff,
Where's he from? Now, if you say Texas, I'm leaving.
Oregon Park, Florida.
Oh, wow.
6'1", 215 pounds. Passed for 1,000, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks. Grades out at a 75.6
for the year.
That's pretty
I
good.
said anything over 64 was good.
Yeah, he's 6'1", 215. That's good. Nice size too. Not real small. And I'm not surprised. Will Howard throws for over 200. Caleb Johnson Smith had close to 90 on the day. I don't think he played the whole game. Ohio State, Jeff. Wegman started. That's what happened. Yeah. They were surprised by him starting. I heard the people come on.
I'll say their backup's done very well.
Yeah, in the quarter when the game was coming on, the announcers were saying, "Well, he's warmed up over there. Oh, wait a minute, he's going to start."
Mm-hmm.
Did that catch Missouri by?
Could have. I mean, but they were on him from the start, man.
Coach,
it was 24-0.
Yeah, he's got to know. Wouldn't you prepare for both games?
How many games is Missouri?
I mean, you prepare for both quarterbacks.
You'd have to.
I mean,
yeah.
Coach Drink is not stupid. I mean, they're a 8-win team this year, 7.
Yeah,
I think
we can't expect them to do.
We had them winning 8 games.
Did last year.
Well, they just don't have the guys, and a lot of the media kept pouring on 9 wins. 9. I'm like, I just don't know how. Slow down, guys. How? Where are they going to win 9 games?
They had a back last year that just went wild.
Well, some of these fans we had Auburn people tell me at the store, we're winning 8, maybe 9. I'm like, no, you got the same team. Mm-hmm. We brought in receivers. So what? You got to develop them. Auburn's not known for developing players in the past year, so it's not just going to happen this year. You didn't get a new staff.
No.
So
take some time.
You win 7, I would be happy.
No, yeah, definitely. What about Florida?
Calm down. I know. I was trying to look for that one.
Florida, another win.
Army, Navy both win. Let's see.
Yeah,
hang on. Where'd it go? Eastern Carolina, 55-24. They get smoked by Charlotte.
Really? That's kind of a shocker.
South Alabama loses by 2 to Arkansas State.
Wonder how I'm seeing how Fluff did here.
Shout out Jacob Burleson. Jacob Burleson. Shout out Jacob St. Clair at Arkansas State.
57 yards, huh?
South
Alabama. We'll see how Fluff did. South Alabama football. All right, let's see here. Come on. They lost 18-16.
They're 2-4 right now.
Bothwell had 9 carries for 32 yards, caught 4 passes for 31. Let's see what Fluff's done on the year.
325, 3 touchdowns.
Fluff. How many catches?
I don't see none.
Caught 4 yesterday.
They don't have him for receiving. They got him for 55.
No, here it is right here. I found it.
Rushing. They got him for 55 with 406. 6 touchdowns.
406. He's caught 9 passes for 75.
That's good.
He's got 481 yards and
pretty good.
6 touchdowns.
He's leading the team right here, 406.
Let's see how.
Well, I asked. I remember texting Coach Hendo. Shout out Coach over at Cherokee County. It's like, well, maybe this App State coach needs to text you and ask you how'd you stop Fluff. Because he's having a hard time. He's like, golly, he was so great. I'm glad he graduated. Good Lord, you're talking about a nightmare trying to stay up all night and figure out what to do.
What to do with him.
Because he'll just, kids, he's gone. God darn it. He's just gone. You can't do nothing.
Trying to see if the boy from Chattooga did well for Lester. 8 carries, 26 yards for Southern Illinois.
We got 2 more games here we'll look at. Penn State, they got them bumped up in AP pretty high. I'm not.
Yeah, 4.
I'm not really. I don't.
Well, I know, but you got to bump them up because they've not lost.
Yes, they're undefeated, but they got at USC at Whiskey.
Whiskey with a big win yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think Penn State. They're not going to beat Wisconsin, Ohio State, or Washington. So they're going to dump 3 of them. So they're going to go 8-3 or something.
9-3.
8-4, 9-3.
10-2 maybe.
No, I don't know. That'd be a stretch. I mean, I like Coach Franklin. I think he's a good coach. And Iowa State is bumping and thumping around,
going.
man. What the heck is going on?
43-21 over Baylor.
Guys, they're 5-0. They're second in the Big 12. They're favored to win the Big 12 right now. You know that?
Yeah.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
I thought we had Utah winning it. I
didn't hear nothing. No, Utah didn't play.
Well, yesterday. I mean, well, Cam's just they don't tell you till Saturday night about 6:59 if he's gonna play or not.
I know. You never know.
Then Iowa State is at West Virginia. Then at UCF.
West Virginia is obviously playing all right.
They host Texas Tech. They go to Kansas. They host Cincinnati. They go to Utah, and they got K-State. They may win a lot of these next 3 or 4. 5. They've already 5-0, 6-0, 5-0, 5. Yeah, dang man, they may win 10 games.
Well, they're 5-0 right now. Who did you say they had left?
West Virginia, UCF, Texas Tech, Kansas, Cincinnati, Utah, K-State. Them last 2 are going to be tough.
I think they win 9. I think they go 9-3.
They could
at
easily.
Worst.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough games, especially the last.
The last 2 are tough.
Yeah. K-State and Utah.
Yeah.
Plus Texas Tech beat Arizona last night. Boys, he won big again.
Yes. Tell us about the running back.
Genty, 186 yards.
1,000 yards right now, right?
Yeah. And before we get into Alabama, Matt, Georgia beat Auburn 31-13. Thorne, 200 yards, no interceptions.
There we go. They're improving. There you go.
191 yards. And their best player, Lambert Smith, 95.
Had 95. Cam have any catches?
No.
He's supposed to be the newcomer of the year.
No. I don't even know if he played.
He did play. I watched him drop one.
No, he did not. He didn't have a catch.
Really? Cam Coleman. They said he's better than Ryan Williams.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's what they said.
Williams got 19 catches for 544 yards.
But they said Cam was better. That Ryan couldn't even tie Cam's jockstrap. He couldn't even carry it around.
That's because of where he played. Central Phoenix. I mean, he averages 20-something yards a catch. He just ain't caught nowhere near what he's caught. And he's had some drops, too.
Well, that's odd.
Beck, 240. ATN, 80. Kobe Young, 51. Georgia outgained Auburn, 384-337.
Not bad.
Auburn still gains yards, but they just couldn't stop Georgia.
Can't score.
Have a lot of trouble scoring. I mean, and I didn't expect them to beat Georgia.
No, nobody did.
And but they played them all right for a while. Then Georgia kind of took off there. Beck, another good game. He threw 2 touchdowns. ATN had his best game so far. Georgia, I don't know how great. I don't think Georgia's bad by no means.
What did Mark say here?
But I don't think they're great.
Coleman whiffed on a block that Thrawn could have scored on if he made it. So far, not impressed. Yeah, Mark, I'll tell you about Cam. This is just my opinion of him. As a person, don't know him. Sure, he's a fine young man. I think by watching him play, and I've watched him play close 2 games and kind of a little bit another. So two really close games. It seems to me by these 4 eyes that's seen a lot of high school football, even been around kids and even coached some kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to me that Cam was physically gifted abruptly. It don't seem to me. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Cam Coleman is big, strong, got the physique, the body. And I think Cam could body a lot of corners back in high school and just make plays over them. He could Julio Jones them because he's just bigger and stronger, and there wasn't a wide variety of play calling. It's high school. It don't have to be very complicated.
No.
And he played at Central, and Ryan played at Saraland.
Mm-hmm.
And he did have to share the field some too. because there was another receiver there that was good. But Ryan's abilities, he ran the ball a lot too and catching stuff.
He had 1 year he had 700 yards rushing.
Yes. So
on like about 50 carries.
I think Cam's problem is just maturity.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. He'll be great.
He's just been able to go in high school and body and push on guys. When them corners run with their hands on him, he could just overjump them and overplay them because he's just bigger and stronger.
Right.
But now you're not just bigger and stronger.
No. And he did have better
college
stats. But, I mean, I just.
He didn't even have a catch. He didn't have a catch yesterday.
I'm talking about better in high school. He had some pretty impressive. No, I didn't see him with a catch. Let me go back and make sure. I did not see his name on it, and I studied it. Georgia, Auburn. I know Lambert Smith is turning out to be there.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And of course, Hunter.
What a ball player he is.
Hunter's doing a real good job. He's not getting the ball.
Man, I don't understand that. What are we doing? Why is – let me just say this.
He gets it 14 or 15 times.
Why are we not – I'll say this, and this will roll us into this part for me.
No, Coleman
for
did
us.
not have a catch. He ran it 13 times, 7 yards a carry. His stats for the year are.
What's he got? 150 catching, 200.
Hunter stats.
Oh, I was talking about Cam.
I want to look at Cam's too.
Hunter
has. He's had a good year.
He should have 400 or 500 yards right now.
He's got 528, 7 yards a carry. He's averaging 13 carries a game.
No, he needs to be averaging 20 a game.
How do you spell Cam, with a K or C?
C. So, Mark, to answer your question, I think this. Cam is physically gifted, and he's learning the playbook, and he's figuring it out. He ain't got it all figured out yet, but I mean, not all freshmen are like – not all people are – everybody's made different. You know, Ryan come in and soaked it up. Bam, got it real quick, gets the plays, understands it, he's ready to go. Cam's just been able to body people in high school.
Cam's best game has been catch against Oklahoma.
Had 3 catches.
82 yards. Didn't catch any yesterday.
He's got to have 3 times that.
He's got 9 catches for a 212. Williams has 19 for 544.
Yeah, Lambert Smith's definitely become.
Lambert Smith is showing out.
Yeah, he's there. He is there.
He has. You're gonna love this. Lambert Smith has 24 catches for 510 yards. He caught 53 for 673 last year for Penn State. Wow.
Yeah. So I think that's Cam's problem. Bro, is this guy retarded or is he just slow in the head?
What happened? But, yeah, Cam's struggling a little bit right now. Ryan Williams is not. But
so that's the answer to the question. So I guess he'll figure it out, and Coach Freeze is going to try to put them together a class, and the program's in bad spot, and their highlight right now this weekend is after they lose a game. They're not worried about losing because their program is a loser program. I mean, they're happy and fired up about 7 or 8 wins, and so they're Auburn. Some of their fans, their pleasure comes from Alabama losing.
No, yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of people enjoy that.
Yeah, oh yeah, all the college bases because they all hate Alabama.
Yeah,
that's okay and they deserve every dart and every spear you're gonna throw at them because they played bad.
Yeah.
So whatever you got to say, go ahead and get on it.
Yeah,
and you better beat them this year if you're gonna try to beat them. If you think you got a shot at them, because with this recruiting class that's coming, and this offensive style of play that Coach DeBoer showed to have, I think it's very promising. He's took Jalen in about 3 months and kind of made him a good mid-level passer.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen actually graded out to a 78 yesterday,
which was good.
He had a good game, 18 for 24, and 3 of those he overthrew.
One was dropped. Williams dropped one.
Yeah, he dropped one, and there was 3, so that's 4. So there's about 2 that I don't know. One of them I know. 2 he overthrew.
Mm-hmm.
One he overthrew pretty bad, and the other one was pretty close. Then one of them I think hit the ground
One,
close.
oh God, he had Bernard wide open. He threw a dart, but he overthrew it. Bernard's pretty good. Bernard and Williams are turning out, and Dupree, he likes throwing to Dupree. They're turning out to be his top targets, and they showed it yesterday. I thought, I haven't heard it yet, but I figure it'll come. Milroe got beat. I thought Milroe played good.
No, I mean, if you score 35 should be enough. If you can score a touchdown every quarter, and then they even doubled up after halftime. They had 14 in the third quarter. That should be enough to win you a football game against the Vanderbilt.
35
should win because
win.
The other side of the scoreboard should say 0 or 3.
They average 9 yards a play. Alabama run 44 plays. High school teams run more than 44 plays.
I think that that there's a problem with the defense, and most people are sitting there going, "Duh." Yeah, Coach Womack has not. He hadn't caught up to speed yet.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Nick Sheridan, offensive coach, I told you for this for the show, we're going to talk after the game, and I need to know if we're buddies or not.
Yeah,
you're from South Alabama. You're from around here, and we're from out west, and we usually like to score 35 or 45 a game.
Mm-hmm.
And we know out west we usually give up, but if we score 35 against a team that has all 2 stars,
mm-hmm.
and they've hit the portal and maybe got a couple of 3 stars, against first-round draft pick offensive linemen that I have on my offense, you got defense. Can you hold them to 20?
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't do it.
No,
he's give up.
Scored 33. I mean, they scored 7 on their defense. Scored 7.
963 yards in 2 games.
Yes,
67 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. We got a problem with it. I mean, it's just not hard to say. So, Pavia, congrats to them. 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And when Milroe got busted late, got hit in the side, ball come out. That's the only line, did not protect him. And but when the pick happened, it flipped up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It was game's over.
We didn't realize
not being a fan. Matt, what are you? I'm just a realist. I'm watching the game. I can see how they're playing. They're not ready. They're not ready. And then even when they got and come back within 2 touchdowns down, they scored and they're down still.
Mm-hmm.
And Milroe and the guys are dancing in the end zone.
Now, what did that score make it? 23-21? I think they felt like at that time they were just going to win. But obviously they didn't. I mean, they just had a tough time. What did Vanderbilt end up with? 418 yards?
Absolutely.
I think it was 418. Alabama had 394 or 396, something like that.
Utterly. Just absolutely embarrassing.
Alabama never had the ball. 42-18 on time of possession.
That's embarrassing. If your offense can score 2 points a minute, I figured that'd probably be good enough. We're going to get my defense as coordinator is going to let them have the ball. 42 minutes is how much times in a whole game?
60.
Okay.
They had it 70% of the time.
So, yeah, we're going to give you the ball 72% of the time. And I'm going to expect you to win as a defense coach. I'm going to tell you to eat it because they just run through us like shit through a tin horn, like Nick Saban said a few years ago.
Talking about Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
They made so many big plays.
12 for 18 on third downs, 1 for 1 on fourth. And going in, they were bragging a lot on how Alabama's third down defense was good. Let me tell you about one of these stats don't work here, geniuses. We got a lot of fans from other schools that want to give you stats. He's 100% on catching the ball. How many's had throw to him? He's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's 100%. He's only had 2 balls thrown to him. Let me tell you more about stats. And here's what happens when you watch a game and not just do stats. Because when I watched the game, it says Alabama, they were first or second FBS on third down defense. We know why? because the other team gets every freaking first down on fourth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're good on third down, because they let the team go to fourth and they're freaking 5 for 5. That was Georgia.
That's 6 for 6 in 2 games.
That's There's a problem. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And what really bothered me, what got me started mad, look, it's not about a win or a loss. I've been this aggravated at Auburn. When they lost to Cal, I'm going back and watching going. A picture. I should have tried to find one day. The 2 mouthpieces. What are we doing?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're wearing 2 mouthpieces. Alabama. I don't know, special teams.
One in their mouth.
No. Both on their helmet hanging. A green one and a white one. Whoever he is, I posted. I said I put him on a bus right then. He didn't know he was going to stand on my sideline. Why? We're here to play football. We're not trying to look cool and hold up our chains, flash our teeth. You better effing figure out what you want to do, because this is not somebody else in the state. This is not some other program around the area. It's Alabama. Mm-hmm. There's a standard that you have to play here. And the seniors, Matt Kai is throwing a fit. That's why he's mad. We're doing all the wrong stuff. And his coach is telling him to come here, and he's like, bro, what do we need to talk about? You're a joke. Mm-hmm. You sent me out here with this defense. We studied all week, and this is what I've got. Mm-hmm. I'm disappointed in me for letting my team down. I'm pissed at my teammates for not playing. Mm-hmm. You didn't set us up right. So you put us in a bad spot. Why are we wearing 2 mouthpieces? Why are we dancing over the ball, setting a fire off? You're losing. Look at the scoreboard.
Right.
How old are you? 8? I'd have let my peewee team do that. You're not dancing. Give the ball to the freaking ref and go get back on the line and kick the ball. We're not. I'm not. No. Even if you're winning, I can deal with it, because it's just how it kind of had is. And the Hurricanes done it.
Yeah, they did bad.
And you know what Jerry said? I mean, when they was letting them dance, he's like, well, why don't you let these guys dance? And if you don't like them dancing, don't let them score.
Yeah.
Well, Vanderbilt did just enough there at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they get the win, 40-35. What bothers me, I'll let you take over. What bothers me is the 2 mouthpieces and the dancing when you're losing.
Yeah, I don't understand that when you're losing. I missed that, actually.
And the Vanderbilt guy walks over and got the ball because he's spinning on the ground. Then they're dancing over like it's a little campfire. And the Vanderbilt guy walks over and gets the ball. They played more edgy.
They did.
They played with a thump. They come to bring the pop and the boom, and they did. And Bama did not.
That was
they couldn't even tackle these guys. No. They had 5 guys hanging on the running backs. Yeah. That's not how Alabama plays football. It may be okay for some of the other guys in the state or other states. That's not. The culture at Alabama is win. It's not just, it's just we lose and we're going to go on the next game. And it's why they're champions. Other schools don't know because you're not.
The thing that shocked me, and I was going to see if you'd agree, and obviously do, I just thought Vanderbilt played a lot more aggressive.
Yep.
Hey, they put out Prentice. They put out the tight end. They drilled Milrow a couple of times. God, poor old Henderson on those kickoff returns. They showed one sequence, and the defensive back for Vanderbilt was just absolutely just beating the crap out of probably should have been called, of a receiver. They were just the aggressor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they feel like they had a point to prove.
And boy, they didn't pack it in at no time.
Usually Bama plays that way, like they did against Georgia last week.
Yeah.
I mean, just dumping back on his head.
I mean, just
fired up, throwing their shoulders in people's chests. They hit Ryan so hard up the sideline one time. I thought it killed him, but he got up real fast.
So who was the bully yesterday?
Vanderbilt.
Absolutely.
They played Bama style football.
They and I'm sure Alabama did too. I'm not dogging Vanderbilt for doing it. I think they talked some trash and, just like get out of my face. And man, they backed it up. And wow. Wow, is all I can say.
The tide come and the storm, Milton, the tropic storm, is rolling across the ocean right now.
I mean, I'm just shocked.
But the Commodores set anchor, even though the tide was rising. And by God, they put it on.
Golly.
It's not even like, oh my God, it's 4th and 1, and Vandy throws it up, scores touchdown. They win the game in the last second. They put Bama's ass all day long. Alabama never led the game.
They never led.
Never.
When's the last time you seen a team
Thump.
out physical Alabama? Besides maybe Clemson in the championship game.
I hadn't really. Not like that. USF did it to them a little bit last year. They pushed them around up on line.
I mean, they were out physical. I mean, dang, every time I looked up, they're having another player's hurt.
Well, you tell me now.
I mean, and then just these hits are just blasts. I mean, my God.
Well, there was a targeting call, and they didn't call it. And we could sit here and talk about the holding calls.
Are you talking about when they pulled it, when they said he didn't target?
Yeah. And then we could talk about the first 4 or 5 explosive plays Vandy hit. The receiver has Bama's receiver under his arm, and the receiver's got his arms up like this, the corner. He's running the sidelines like he's holding me. He's got me hooked under the arm. Ref, he's looking at the ref. He's from here to the door. He's got me hooked under the arm. It's holding, and the run goes around him up the sideline. Not called. Those 2 or 3 up the middle ones, the first 2 or 3 big ones.
Yeah.
He's got him around the neck. Now, when holding is when you can do this. You can work with them. But if you get on top of the jersey and it starts getting away from you, you reach for your right hand. But when you move out, this is what a ref told me. If you move out of this area, if you don't move your feet and your hands are outside,
yeah.
Like if a guy goes run by and you put your arm up, he's just going to beat you and your arm is around his neck.
Yeah.
Clothesline. There was 3 of those first big plays that Vandy run. It was clotheslining him. He clotheslined him into the ground, and they didn't call it.
Yeah.
Now is there?
But the thing
is there a conspiracy that they're trying to get the Bama game off, get the Tennessee game out of the way, to get these top teams out because we want to build this more of a equal style football and a brand because there is 12-team playoff. But I don't know. And all that's just hearsay and conspiracy. It means nothing. Why Alabama lost is because they didn't show up.
Yeah.
They let the wrong team off the bus. They let the Girl Scouts from Tuscaloosa off.
They didn't play well.
No,
they got pushed around. I mean, and on the last drive, I mean, I'm like, well, Alabama will get this back. If Vanderbilt wins, it'll be because they have to make a stop. No, they got 3 first downs.
It's very
back to back. They got one and then got another one the next play.
Very disappointing how they played. And this is either going to be a building moment
I think it'll be a building.
For Coach DeBoer to check with his guys. And if I'm him, you just go I'm just going to go in the locker room and say, guys, I'm kind of new here and I'm getting to know you guys, but I think honesty is the best policy. Can I just be open right now and honest? I'm just going to pour all my feelings out right here. I'm going to sit down on the floor and we'll just talk. I'm listening. But I'm going to holler a little bit because I'm mad.
Mm-hmm.
I did not prepare you guys. Our defensive coach let you down, and we're going to talk. But he's got a mark that's forever stained.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Dude, 1 is the most lonely number that there ever is. And to be 1, not just to be Bama and be ranked 23rd, I'm surprised that they lose to Vanderbilt. You're number 1. Which is don't seem really earned to me this time of year. I was number 1. We don't know. I mean, honestly, do we really know? We played like 5 or 6 games, really.
Well, I mean, just 1 week removed from that huge win at Georgia.
Now,
One week.
Tell the listeners before we get off here. Playing this style of football against this triple option, we talked about it before the show. I wanted to make sure I heard right when I was young.
When we were always taught.
How's the defense going to line up and play against an offense?
If it's a triple option.
Yeah.
The
fullback, tailback, quarterback.
The fullback, defensive tackle, or the inside linebackers
now,
take him.
It is in a shotgun now.
Right.
It's like you got your line of scrimmage, and they usually if they run 12 personnel, which is a tight end on each side, right, and then a receiver out. Well, they'll have 11 personnel, thanks when you got 1 tight end. Well, then you got a shotgun, a tailback behind him, then a fullback over to your left, I guess, like up.
Yeah.
So, any three of these guys can get the ball, and they were bringing motion every time. But motion is usually eye candy just to see what your defense is doing. Are you in man or you zone?
That outside linebacker will take the quarterback, and then the defensive end will take the quarterback, and which was what they were doing, right? You just said he wasn't attacking him.
That's what I don't understand. The fullback would be the outbacker will get him.
Yeah, and pitch man be outside linebacker corner.
I just remember, and guys that played, please type in.
Usually gets, and you said yourself, I watched the game, but I didn't pay attention to Overton. You said Overton was taking him, but he wasn't attacking.
Nobody was attacking nobody. They should have been.
He told him to slow play,
like they were pitch. Like they were wanting to make him make a choice.
Yeah,
I don't just hit him every time. If he pitches it, hit him anyway. That's what I remember hearing.
Oh I
could hear
you go on and run through it.
Yeah, hurt him. The point is try to hurt them, to make them quit where they don't want to play football no more the rest of the day. And Bama usually does that. They had guys. How many times did you just say, even on that last part, there are 5 Bama players hanging on the banner, hanging on it. He's just walking along down the field.
They didn't have a lot of yards rushing. They had tough yards.
It seems like they thought we're kind of in the middle of the season. We're fixing to have to go play South Carolina, then Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I think these 2 games are going to be tougher than this one. Let's just kind of slow motion and go about 70% in this game because we don't need to get hurt.
Right.
Because they are young.
And then the next thing you know, you're down 13-0.
We can kind of milk it and just fiddle fart. They wouldn't put in the boom. That same team that busted Georgia in the face, that was not the same guys we've seen against Vanderbilt.
No.
They was punching back in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said that one he hit him in the end zone, they was dumping him on his head all night long. That's not the same. So we know they can do it.
They didn't come after them a whole lot either, did they?
Well,
I mean, you can still blitz even though they're running the option.
Well, you're afraid you'll overattack it and you'll get upfield.
And he's gone. Yeah.
Which is kind of what happened anyway. They just didn't play aggressive. I don't understand the waiting on the guy to pitch. He just run up there and break down. No, hit him.
Right.
And if he pitches it, there's a guy over here. I hope. Obviously, there wasn't. A lot of those pitches, they wouldn't.
Obviously, they can block the guy, too. He can get blocked. But usually.
And they did a good job at that.
But that's why you got more than one man taking it.
They did a good job at that.
Yeah.
How can Womack not get a team to – it's just play an assignment. How many times did Bullen tell you that? Dean, just play assignment football for me Friday.
Yeah.
1,000.
You got the pitch man. That's it. Don't worry about it.
If he goes and gets a drink of water.
Do not take that quarterback.
Don't even look at him. Forget he's playing. If the pitch guy goes and gets a drink of water, go get a drink of water. If he goes kiss his mama, you kiss his mama too.
I remember one time we played.
What's so complicated
now, we weren't
about
playing
that,
a great
man?
team, so I'm going to go on to say that up front.
What's so complicated about that?
I'm not trying to boost up myself. I went and hit the quarterback and tackled him for a loss. I said, I get a star for that, don't he? He goes, no, you didn't. The pitch man's standing out there. That's your guy.
Oh, crap.
You ain't giving no star for that. I tackled him behind the line.
Jahad Campbell and Dean, 12 tackles. Moore had 10. Lawson had 10. Sab had 9.
They had to make 80-something tackles.
Damon Jackson had 8, and most all of the guys had 5 or 3, like Latham and Russo, Tim Smith, Deshaun Jones. Glad to see him in there. Manuel Henderson Jr. All these guys I just named. Look, Junior and Jones and Brown. These are freshmen.
I know.
4 and 5-star freshmen. They're still young back there. We told you all this in the summer. I even got remember the little image I made with the players' names on it and the stars? Mm-hmm. I did one for Auburn and Alabama. I said they're good. They're young.
They're young.
Very young. About a third or more. They're young. They're freshmen. Will they be fine next year? Yes. They're only going to lose Malachi, really. Will Sab be back?
I would think so. I think he's got one more. Guys, I'm fixing to say something here, and I hope this isn't taken the wrong way. But you mean to be honest? I don't think this loss is a huge deal other than it's just a loss.
Sab is a sophomore.
He's a good player.
He'll be back. He'll be a good leader next year for them.
Am I over the line saying that? I just don't think it's a huge deal in that they really don't need to drop another one. But
no, you can't lose another one.
they got their back up against the wall, but this is not the end of the world. They're ranked 7th. So if they win out, they're still going to this playoff.
Well, you're going to have to win out, though.
Yeah. You don't think you can lose to a good team? You don't even think they'll make that playoff if they lose another one to a real good team?
Well, the way things are going, who's really good? I mean, honestly.
Well, we don't know.
I mean, does Bama play Texas this year? No. This is the new AP poll, top 10. Texas 1, podcast listeners. Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, Penn State 4, Georgia 5. The U at 6, which I think is going to.
I think they should be 5.
I would definitely. I don't know how they're.
I mean, you're undefeated.
Why is Georgia lost, and they beat Auburn is. You're supposed to win that game. Auburn's terrible. They have been for years. I don't see how beating a bad team bumps them.
I don't understand that.
But
Miami should be 5,
and they beat a bad Cal team. Cal's not that good. They just went out there and took a big road trip, and they got out of their mind for a little while. But they still found a way to win. They're undefeated. It means something to be 6-0.
I think Alabama should be 6 because they beat Georgia head-to-head. Then Georgia 7. Tennessee 8, Ole Miss 9.
Bama's at 7, Tennessee's 8, Ole Miss 9, Clemson at running off the top 10.
I think Iowa State.
Then down you got Iowa State and Notre Dame tied for 12. How you do that, I don't know. LSU 13, then BYU, A&M at 15, Utah Ute 16, Boise 4-1 at 17, K-State 18, Indiana undefeated. Why ain't they up there? 18, tied with Oklahoma at 18, 4-1, Missouri 4-1, 21, 22, Pitt. And round out the last 3 is Illinois, Michigan at 24. How Michigan is still ranked. There's no way.
No, they've lost 2, right?
Yes.
Who was their other loss to?
God dang it. SMU's 25. Let me tell you why they're ranked, why they're ranking them.
Michigan should not be ranked.
No.
Nebraska should be ranked before Michigan. To me.
Yeah.
Or Colorado. Colorado's lost 1.
I know why they're keeping them ranked. To keep the teams that's these 2 teams that's beat them, to keep them up in the ranks and say, well, they beat a ranked team in Michigan.
Who beat Michigan? I know Washington. Who was the other one?
Let me
look right here.
Let's see. People. Who was their loss? They didn't even play nobody, really.
Let me see. When they beat USC, that boosted them up. Let's see. Michigan. Did they lose to?
I can't remember.
Michigan. Okay. They lost to Washington. We know that. Barely beat Minnesota. They may not have lost one. Oh, yes. They lost to Texas.
Oh, yeah. How did I forget that?
Yes. 31-12.
Let's see here. And for the rest of the year for them, they have.
I think Michigan goes 8-4, 9-3.
They got Illinois.
That'll be a tough one. Illinois is ranked. They're not bad.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they're not going to win the championship, but
Michigan
they're not
State
bad.
Play Oregon November 2nd. Then they got Indiana.
Oh.
Well, nobody figured that. Minnesota.
I think they'll be okay.
Minnesota nearly beat them.
Minnesota nearly beat them and then beat USC.
I didn't kind of think Washington would beat them. Washington lost their whole team.
I did not think Washington would beat them. I'm going to tell you 150%.
And who thought Illinois would be ranked 23 over Michigan at 24? I didn't see that in the summer coming.
No.
And who had Indiana ranked 18?
Wow.
And then they have Northwestern, and of course they finished with Ohio State. So they're going to lose 3 or 4 of them.
I think they may be. They finish 8-4.
Maybe.
9-3 at best.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't think they make the playoff. I think they're done on that. I think USC is done on the playoff. I think USC and Michigan are out.
So, Bama fans, that's it. Close it down.
Yeah, they're out of the playoffs.
The board is gone. He better put him on a plane Monday. You can't lose a game. There's some of them people doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a message board where it's fire everybody, burn scorched earth, bring Saban back.
Well,
just put him back. Just don't have to. He don't even have to go to the field, guys. Just let him call from the box.
Oh, you'll find out how good he's not because he's on the field coach.
I'm curious. Do you think, and we'll get off here, do you think that do you think he's a busybody? He's up in their business?
No.
I don't feel that. But you would think he would be, but I don't think he is.
He wasn't even at the game yesterday. I mean, but he does game day. So, I mean.
Do you think he may make a trip by Womack? Oh, hey, I'm just tapping. What am I doing over here on this side of the building? Wow, crazy me. Since I come by the office here, Womack, I thought I'd just stop by and just take a look at let me just take a look at your defense here. Let me tell you what you're doing wrong right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
he could. He could.
Like, what are you doing over here, Nick? Your office is on the I got turned around. He accidentally come by Womack's
I think
office.
He's done.
But can he go by? Would Womack welcome me in? Hey, he's like, I built something here. I spent my life. I mean, I spent so much time here, and y'all boys are just making a muck.
Mm-hmm.
You lost to Vandy. Listen, in 2000, I'm going to make sure I get this right because I know there's some people out there. 11 or 12, Bama give up 63 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
The year.
Yes, 11. I believe it was. I don't know. It was 11 or 12-1. You talking about the year they beat LSU 21-0? Yeah.
They've already given up that many points in 2 games.
Oh, yeah, more than that.
And you've played Georgia, which you expect to, but 40 to freaking Vanderbilt. Are you effing joking me? Womack, bro. Get Pete Golden back.
They hated Pete Golden when he was there.
Well, he put guys in a bad spot, but at least he wasn't scared. He had a little bit of sack to him to put some pressure on the quarterback a lot of time. But Womack, I mean, Golden's problem was he would leave the skinny guys out on a 3rd and 3 on a fat boy play when you need to run the elephant zone. Put in the fat boys for short yards. He'd leave the skinny guys out, and they were just big boys and push us up the field and get that 3.
Which nobody will ever admit this, but I thought Golden's defense has always improved as the year went on. Like they wouldn't be good at the first, and by the end of the year, they would be pretty good.
I think it's because Saban was digging in his ear.
I mean, he could. Saban had a big part to do with that defense. But no, I think Saban's a hands-off guy, like with a D coordinator. Hey, Pete, it's yours. And then, hey, I'm going to impart some of my knowledge to Pete.
Well, he sure did. He let his knowledge be known to Lane Kiffin when you see him on the headset, he's just screaming, run the ball.
Yeah.
Stop throwing it all over the freaking yard.
No, I think he's out of it, Matt. I think Saban's done.
Well, let me ask you this. This is a scenario that I come up with. Please, listeners, please, anybody left on here, we still got a few. Thank y'all for coming by. We kind of get people that come on in the middle and catch this part. And then we'll have people come on the first and listen to the first. So middle people, we've talked about 4 or 5 other games. Mm-hmm. We're not just talking about Bama and Vanderbilt. I'm just talking about right now, college football in general. Does it seem to anybody that because they don't run the ball anymore, it seems like we're not having a lot of rushing right now?
No, it don't seem like.
I mean nobody. Not really. I mean,
Alabama's leading rushers, Miller. He's probably got 300 yards.
I mean, the Gentry guy's got 1,000.
Now, Sampson's tearing it up for Tennessee. But outside of that, ATM probably averaging 60 or 70.
What did he run for last night?
140.
At Tennessee?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Miller, Haynes, they've probably got 500 between them.
It feels like a little bit of 7-on-7.
Mm-hmm.
You try to throw some passes down the field to get a PI.
Yeah, it works sometimes.
And you don't run the ball a whole lot.
Well, see, Georgia's not running at that time.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That was that game. We're sitting here looking at each other going,
Auburn's not. Oh, he didn't run it in the first 9 plays for passes. The first 9.
Georgia and Bama game.
Yeah.
We're looking at each other going, I'm thinking, it's like 2nd and 5. Georgia comes out of the huddle, empty backfield.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
I knew right there. I said, they're going to get beat tonight. What are they doing? They better run the ball.
Let me think.
Bama did too. That whole series, I don't know if they run it twice.
Is anybody in the top 10 running it more than they're throwing it? Ohio State is. Texas? No. Maybe.
Well, their main guy got hurt too, so
Penn State's probably about 50-50. Oregon, they're not. Ole Miss is throwing it more. Tennessee's probably running it more. But not a lot more. Nussmeier's dominating, but I mean they're throwing more than they. Who's leading the nation in rushing? What team?
Well, you probably know who's won. Has been for about 100 years.
Who? Army?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What Power 5 teams is up there?
Tennessee 1,300, UCF 1,400, Oregon State. Let's see who's the first SEC team.
Tennessee, right?
Yep.
How are they averaging a game rushing?
It's like
206.
233 with 5. Oh, is this the average? What's the
Where's
average?
that? Yeah. There's the yards per game. 206 is
average. Okay.
The SEC. Wow. Nebraska used to rush for 400 yards a game 25 years ago.
1,300. Everybody's kind of Ohio State 1,100.
Ohio State's got a good one.
Penn State 1,000. So 1,000. Jayhawks. Jacksonville State Gamecocks 1,000.
No Alabama.
204.
No Auburn's. No Georgia's.
There's Clemson and Bama.
What's Alabama averaging?
971, 194, 5.5 a run.
Less than 200.
Yeah, 194. Clemson 196. Alabama, you're getting outrushed by New Mexico Lobos. You're getting outrushed by Indiana.
It's just the way the game's changed. So Tennessee's leading the SEC with 206 yards rushing a game.
266.
Oh, 266. That's still under 300. Nobody in the SEC is averaging 300 yards rushing a game.
All the 300-yard guys are Boise and Army, and that they got this freak tailback.
And you know what wins it in high school? 300 yards rushing a game average. Usually.
South Carolina, 920. Miami, 1,100. They're a championship team, man. I just got a feeling about these guys. I just got a feeling. I got a feeling.
66.
I got a feeling about Miami. Y'all mark it down. I think your Hurricanes are going to make a run at this.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm serious.
I don't see. I think Ohio State's probably better than. I know they don't play a tough schedule.
Well, them and Oregon's going to cancel each other out.
Yes, and I think we'll see how good Ohio State is there. I think. Who knows?
So they got Oregon this weekend.
I didn't think Oregon's looked that good. Watch them beat them 48-0.
Oh, that's it.
I doubt that.
I'll come back.
I think
I'll come back Tuesday, and we'll do.
Yeah, I won't be here Tuesday. I'll probably be over with you Thursday when we do the high school.
We'll do week 7. Who's?
Oh yeah, quickly. I'm sorry.
Who's up next?
Games this week. Don't have a lot of big ones. It's a better lineup than this last week, but don't ever listen to me when I say it's not a good lineup anymore, because that's the best week. We got South Carolina at Bama, Red River shootout, Texas and Okie. Alabama comes on 11, Texas and Okie at 2:30. Georgia, Mississippi State 3:15. Florida and Tennessee at 6. That game's Florida's playing decent. Game of the night, though, Ole Miss, LSU, Ohio State, Oregon, both at 6:30.
Florida at Tennessee, ESPN 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a big one. And, Matt, the late game, I think it's a big one. K-State at Colorado.
Vandy at Kentucky, 6:45 SEC Network.
That is a lot better game than advertised. What time does it come on? I did not get that.
6:45.
That's going to be a good game.
Iowa State at West Virginia. See, West Virginia's been winning.
Kentucky. Yeah, they're better.
K-State at Colorado. That's going to be for a late game on ESPN.
That'll be a good one. I think.
And then Boise State packed the plane, and they're going to be at Hawaii. Wish I was them.
I don't think there's any trouble there.
The ESPN 6 o'clock the main time, probably the main game of the 6 o'clock ESPN is always a big game. It's Florida at Tennessee.
Yeah. The game of the week, though, has got to be that Ohio State.
I wonder where game day is going to be at.
Ole Miss LSU's a big one, too. But Ohio State and Oregon, you got 2 top 4s now. I'd say they'll be in Oregon. Why wouldn't they be? Top 5 matchup. I mean, I would think they would be, wouldn't you?
Seems like it. Georgia Tech and North Carolina, 11 o'clock on the C-Dub.
God, there's so many teams that aren't ranked that you would think would be ranked.
Trying to see. Red River Shootout, 2:30 ABC.
That's a big game.
That's your 2:30 game.
Don't be shocked if there's an upset there. Just because they're rivals. They're just rivals. It's like an Auburn-Alabama game. But Texas is going to be wanting some revenge because they lost last year.
Is there any chance that USC beats Penn State?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Miller time. It's at USC, too. They got to travel cross country.
I definitely think they may be favored.
That's an old Rose Bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't it?
Yeah, USC's not bad. I don't know. They've lost 2 games, but yeah, definitely. And that might be, look for an upset there. Look for an upset. I think K-State will beat Colorado, don't you?
I would assume so. But that I'll definitely flip over there, and I will be watching Vandy at Kentucky.
I think that's an even match, and I'm very surprised. I'm very anxious to see who wins that. What time is it?
6:45, SEC Network.
Okay.
Yeah, K-State and Colorado. I'll be interested.
Very.
All right, man.
I'm interested in it.
And women, I thank y'all for coming by. Jeff says Penn State. Penn State does travel well. Well, yeah, they do.
I still think they could. Watch out now. So our old boy's getting rowdy here.
Shut up. Ohio State 2024 college football playoffs outmuscled 2014. Outmuscled Bama.
Yeah.
Is that the year they had Zeke?
Zeke. Yeah.
Oh, God, he was great. He was great. I don't know what he's doing now. He's lost his mind. I mean, literally. I don't even know. Does he even play football
He plays
anymore?
for the Patriots, doesn't he? No, he plays back for Dallas.
Yeah. I ain't heard nothing. I mean, I knew he was back at Dallas, but I don't know anything. I ain't seen any yards.
I think he's took too many hits.
No, I think he's just got money and he's just partied too much. Because he was on that bus. I remember when they won, he was pretty wild. Then he had some problems with pushing girls around. He likes to beat on women.
He had some issues at Ohio State that's last year after they won.
He was charged with that. I don't think that's alleged. I mean, it's public record.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at police reports.
Usually guys that do that have a tendency to do that their whole life.
Yeah. O.J. Simpson.
And guys that don't.
Mm.
Okay. I'm just using somebody as an example.
Like it don't just show up out like, well, he's 32 and he just started hitting his wife.
Yeah. Me or Matt, we have no domestic violences in our family. If you hear that me and him knock some woman around.
My family definitely has.
No, I'm talking about us.
Yeah, no.
If you hear that me and him knocked some woman around and got arrested for it, check into it.
Yeah.
There's more to it.
I probably got hit and I may have was going to punch a guy and I reached back and I hit a woman by accident. God darn it. Sorry.
Yeah. So those guys usually have problems with that and it's not isolated.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious this weekend too. Vanderbilt and Kentucky just become a little more curious.
Very.
I still think Kentucky beats them.
I wouldn't be shocked. No, not at all.
I'd take Kentucky by touchdown.
I mean, Vanderbilt still lost to Georgia State,
Because how are they going to come down off of just beating the biggest win of their program? They just made a name in the history books.
Yeah.
Ever. And this is the first time ever that number 1 and 4 is lost the same day. Never has it ever happened. Never.
Wow.
Is there something to that?
They both got to bounce back. I'm telling you what, now Florida's playing all right. Tennessee could lose that game.
No.
I don't think they will. I mean, on paper, I don't, but.
Well,
it is at Tennessee.
Yeah, after a big letdown.
Yeah.
but you get to come home because Nico was just his look in his eyes when he got up was like, I just lost the game. Like I thought there was 5 minutes left on the clock. That's why he looked like.
Yeah.
He's just
Or 16 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
Last takeaway for Bama Vandy. We got to move on from it. South Carolina week, so Bama fans just move on.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can do. That's all the team's got to do. They've got a chance to still finish out good. It's not over, I lose one more and it may be, but they ain't lost one more yet, so I wouldn't worry about it until it happens. And, they're capable of beating anybody. You saw what they did to Georgia, who's a good team, up 28-0. So, I mean, I don't think they can dwell on it. I don't think DeBoer and Womack and the players, Malachi Moore, and I don't think they can dwell on it. Because they're going to lose again if they dwell on it. Just have a second half of the season, great second half of the season.
Yeah, you just got to move on. Find some leadership and be coachable.
I mean, it's not going to be easy to go 7-0, but it can be done the rest of the way.
Yeah. What about Auburn has the toughest game of the weekend?
Idle. Auburn needs to get some wins in their column.
Well, next two when they come back is at Mizzou, at Kentucky.
Oh my gosh.
They
need to get one of those.
They're 0-3 in a conference, right? They ain't won a conference game.
So at Mizzou, at Kentucky.
The only wins they got are against FCS. They beat A&M, Alabama, and New Mexico.
Yeah.
They don't have any wins against any ranked, any conference.
They've got to get one of those.
At Mizzou, at Kentucky. Then they got Vandy.
Which won't be easy.
It's at Vandy.
When they play at home again.
Well, they're at Mizzou, at Kentucky. Then they're home for Vandy.
Oh, they're home for Vandy.
Yeah. Then they're off again. Then they got Saban Monster, Monroe at home. And then they got A&M at home. Then they go to Bama.
They're going to have a hard time finishing up 3-3. That would be great for them if they could finish up 3-3.
In the conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm just talking about in the next 6 games.
Oh, yeah.
And finish 5-7 for the year. They've got to be happy with that. With the schedule they've got. You got to be happy with that. You got to win. You got to win a couple of them SEC games.
Well, you think you get 5 home games to start the year off. You'd probably win those 5.
Oh, Lord. And I think they ought to have 2 more wins than they've got. So they should actually probably be 4-2.
Yeah.
They had Oklahoma beat. Definitely had them beat, but they didn't. I mean, I turned that off.
So Auburn's off this week. Bama got South Carolina and Georgia.
Mississippi State.
Is at Georgia?
Yes.
I just looked at it.
Wait. Let me check
I just looked at it. I thought it said Mississippi State at Georgia.
I think it is at Georgia.
Is there any chance?
No.
For Mississippi State?
No, I think Mississippi State's rebuilding, but I don't think they're very good right now. Georgia football. All right. Football. Let's see who they got this week. Come on. It's gone to everything I've clicked on. All right. It's not going to go to it. That's great. Oh, wait. I got it. Yeah, they're at home.
So Mississippi State at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Bama's at SC. What time is the Bama SC game, I wonder?
11.
Ugh, I don't like him early games. Coming off a loss. Is there a shot, Beamer, if this starts the downslide of the DeBoer train?
Nah.
Because Drones is good.
Sellers.
Same thing, sort of.
He is. I think they'll be all right. I don't think if they lose again, I don't think it'll be to South Carolina. Maybe LSU, maybe Tennessee. I don't like them.
I expect Tennessee to beat them.
I don't like
I
them.
especially do now.
I don't like them going to Tennessee.
But if Arkansas defense can hold them to 0 for like all night, surely you would think Bama could. Can Womack not?
I don't know.
Really? I mean, the D coordinator supposed to have been good last year at Mizzou. He went to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
He done some great.
Yeah.
Average.
They've gotten better.
Petrino's calling plays at Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't make no sense.
That's a game.
Tennessee could do nothing. Arkansas shut them down. It was 3-0 at the half.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Samson, nada.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas was shooting gaps and busting their tail.
Yeah.
Why didn't Bama just shoot gaps in the Vandy game? Why didn't they, like play aggressive?
I don't know.
It's like they were holding themselves back because this team's easy, so we should be able to half throttle and beat them because we don't want to get hurt.
Well, that goes on a lot with teams. You think you're better than a team, so you just go on cruise.
Oh, I know I was going to ask you.
Next thing you know, you're down 21-0.
God darn it. Turn the cruise off. It won't go off. It's stuck on cruise control.
Yeah. But no brakes are out.
You ought to have it in a contract. That's what I was going to ask you. You ought to have it in a contract like a coach. If you lose a big game like this, that's $5 million off your salary for the year.
Mm.
Well, I win the game.
Yeah.
You lost to Vandy. That cost you $5 million off your salary. It was 20. Now it's 15. Assistant coach, yours is 2.5 off.
Mm-hmm.
You got 12 for the year. Well, now you got 11.5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 9.5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I know that's not going to happen, but would that change anything? Like in Georgia, when the refs get called out on a play and they take it to the board and they find out the ref was wrong, guess what? He don't get paid.
Really?
Yeah, they don't do it in Alabama.
Yeah,
Birds told me that.
Yeah.
If they appeal at Georgia
and
the ref loses, he loses pay for the game.
Wow. They made some bad calls over there, too.
They better not get appealed. They don't get paid. That's what I was told.
Wow.
So if you lose a game, like DeBoer, you lost to Vandy, you lose $5 million. Or you just say you lose half your salary for the year. That'd straighten it up. I think that would have to – you would really be like, well, I'm going to lose my house. Because that's why we have to live.
Yeah.
If we don't produce at work, then we don't get to work. I mean, you get in trouble. You get rode up. Guess what happens? You get fired. These coaches that make millions and millions of dollars, Hugh Freeze is a screaming example. He's got no conference wins. And the next two, he might not probably win them.
They have a tough time.
Start docking these guys' pay. They'll start going, God dang, I better figure it out. I better get in the portal like right now and get a quarterback because I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my car and everything. Hold these coaches accountable.
Yeah.
They're over these young men's lives. And this NIL money, well, Ryan Williams went to $1.5 million Georgia game, right? Guess where it's at now? Down to about 700, 600.
Oh, really? He had a good game yesterday.
So if I don't play good, I don't get as much money. Yeah. And the linemen don't care because they don't have big NILs anyway.
No.
And that could cause a problem. Hey, I ain't blocking for you, man. Screw you.
Yeah, they need to. Well, they need to stop all that NIL. But they're not.
No, it's not.
But you're going to get division. It's going to cause. My uncle told me that. He's right.
And
he said the NIL is going to cause division. He goes, you already got lower tier players. I'm talking about the lower levels of ball.
Well, second scrimmage team, like I worked my butt off all week.
I'm not doing this. These other Division 1 and 2 gets paid. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I worked my butt off on the scrimmage team at Bama.
Nah.
Don't ask me for nothing. Don't come back here and ask me to do nothing for you. You're so and so. You drive a new car. I'm running a goddamn bicycle around campus. F you, man.
Well, money causes problem.
The love of money
is the root of all evil.
The love of money is.
Yes.
That's what it says in the good book.
And it will be in college football. And I've heard players say it'll destroy it. So we'll see.
Well, it's just becoming pro ball. You just hired guns. But if transfer portal and worked and Vanderbilt transferred in some good guys, then
Stowers.
Then Colorado should be undefeated right now.
Yeah.
We're going to find out this weekend how good they are.
Yeah. They play K-State.
All right. That's enough of that. See you Tuesday night about 5. Y'all have a great week. God bless you.
Y'all have a good week.